Good evening. Hi all. So யாரெல்லாம் இருக்கீங்க? Yes. So who are all present? யாரெல்லாம் இருக்கீங்க? ஒரு ஹாய் சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கலாம். Yes. Hi everyone. Good evening. எஸ் ஸோ எல்லோரும் வந்து சீரியஸாக எக்ஸாம் ப்ரிப்பேர் ஆகிட்ருக்கீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ அதனால தான் இன்றைக்கி நாங்கள் அமிர்தா இன்ஜினியரிங்கோட கொஷின் பேப்பர் டிஸ்கஷன் பண்ண போகிறோம். ஓகே, மார்க் டெஸ்ட் பேப்பர் வெப்சைட்டில் கொடுத்துருக்காது. வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு டிஸ்கஸ் டுடே. எஸ் ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபார் ஆல் தேர் ஜஸ்ட் சென்ட் மீ அ ஹாய். எஸ் ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம செஷனில் பார்க்க போகிறது கெமிஸ்ட்ரி பார்ட். ஸோ கெமிஸ்ட்ரி முடிச்சதுக்கப்புறமா வில் பி மூவிங் டு ஃபிசிக்ஸ். ஹாய் ஹர்ஷிவ், குட் ஈவினிங். ஹாய் பெனிதா, குட் ஈவினிங். ஸோ குட் ஈவினிங் எவ்ரி ஒன். ஸோ ஸோ வில் ஸ்டார்ட் தி செஷன். ஓகே, ஸோ நிறையா படிக்கிறதுக்கு இருக்குது, அதனால் நம்ம லேட் பண்ண வேணாம், செஷன் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம். எஸ் ஓகே, ஸோ த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஷன் இஸ் SN1 is favored by. Yes, so SN1 reaction is favored by whether it is non-polar solvents, more number of alkyl group on the carbon atom attached to the halogen atom, small group on the carbon attached to the halogen atom, no groups on the carbon attached to the halogen atom. So SN1 reaction, it is given by which among the following? What is SN1? It is nucleophilic substitution, unimolecular reaction, correct? So it is favored by which among the following? Hi Vanita, good evening. Yes. Okay, so what will be your answer? Yes, so just give me an answer quick. Okay, so we'll revise fast. Yes, right. So what is SN1? SN1 is unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. So in unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, it takes place SN1. It takes place in which type of alcohols? We have studied in alcohols, right? So in which type of alcohols does SN1 takes place? Right, very good, right? Tertiary secondary alcohols will give you SN1 mechanism, whereas SN2 bimolecular mechanism is given by primary alcohol, right? So SN1 reaction is favored by, in tertiary and secondary, we know that there are more number of alkyl group, right? So therefore more number of alkyl group, because in tertiary we have 3 alkyl groups and in secondary we'll be having 2 alkyl groups, right? So therefore option B is the correct answer. Yes, so more number of alkyl group on the carbon atom attached to the halogen atom. Yes, and the second question is phenol is less acidic than which among the following? Whether it is ethanol or orthonitrophenol, orthomethylphenol, orthomethoxyphenol. Phenol is less acidic than. Yes, so what would be your answer? Yes, what would be your answer? Okay, so many are answering. Your answers are A, C. Okay, so what would be the correct answer? Think about the acidity of alcohols. We know that aliphatic alcohols are less acidic than water, and phenol is more acidic than water. So ethanol is not going to be your answer. So what are all the options given? Orthonitrophenol, orthomethylphenol, orthomethoxyphenol. Okay, so we know that acidity increases. When it will increase? Due to the electron withdrawing group or due to the electron releasing group? Acidity increases due to the presence of electron withdrawing group. So which among these three is having electron withdrawing group? Which one among these three is having electron withdrawing group? Very good, right? Nitro group, NO2 is electron withdrawing in nature, whereas methyl and methoxy are electron releasing. These are electron releasing group. So therefore orthonitrophenol will be more acidic compared to phenol. Okay, so therefore option B is the correct answer. Yes, very good, Harshit. Option B is correct. Okay, shall we move to the next question? Yes, and the next question is, chloroethane reacts with compound Z to form diethyl ether. Identify Z. Okay, so what are the options? NaOH, H2SO4, C2H5ONa and Na2S2O3. Chloroethane, it reacts with the compound Z to form diethyl ether. So what would be Z? What would be Z? Yes, so what will be your answer? See, chloroethane is C2H5Cl, right? C2H5Cl is chloroethane. It reacts with, very good, right, C2H5ONa, NaOC2H5. So here NaCl will be removed, so we'll be getting C2H5O, C2H5. We'll be getting diethyl ether, right? So option C is correct answer. Yes, very good. Okay, option C will be the correct answer. Next question. The mass of proton having a wavelength of 4.2 angstrom is. So what they have given? They have given you the wavelength. What they have asked? They have asked you the mass. Okay. So what will be the formula? Any guesses? What would be the formula? Yes. So we are going to relate two things here. One is Einstein's mass energy relationship. Second one is Planck's hypothesis, right? So when you relate this, you'll get an equation. What you'll get? You'll get H by lambda is equal to mc. Yes. So what will be lambda? What will be m? M will be equal to H by lambda into c. Okay. So now substitute, you'll get your answer. So what is H? H is Planck's constant. 6.626 into 10 power minus 34, and here lambda is given in angstrom. Convert this into meter. 4.2 into 10 power minus 10 meter, right? So you'll be getting 4.2 into 10 power minus 10 into velocity of light. What is velocity of light? 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, right? So therefore what would be your answer if you solve this? What would be your answer if you solve this? Okay, yes. So what will be your answer? They have asked you the mass, right? So mass will be equal to H by lambda into C. So we have substituted all the values. So your answer will be yes, very good. Yes, answer is 5.25 into 10 power minus 33 kilogram. 5.25 into 10 power minus 33 kilogram. Yes. And the next question is, in the following sequence of reactions, the alkene affords the compound B. Okay. So what they have given? They have given you butene on ozonolysis. On addition of ozone, you'll be getting A. This on hydrolysis with zinc, you'll be getting B. So they have asked you only B. Okay, so see the options. It is CH3CHO, CH3CO, CH3, CH3CH2, CHO, CH3CH2, COCH3. So what will be the correct answer? You must do the, what you must do? You must do ozonolysis reaction, right? So what would be the answer? Yes, yes, Balamurali, you're right. It should be option A, right? So how will you do it? See, I have CH3, CH double bond CH3. So this on ozonolysis, I'll be getting an ozonoid, right? So how will you write the ozonoid here? Just write the alkyl groups, right? So join using the oxygen. Yes. So can you able to see O here? It should be like this, right? Now cleave the bond. When you do hydrolysis, just cleave the bond here. So what product you will be getting? CH3CHO 2 times. So your answer will be acetaldehyde. Yes, so option A is right. Very good. Okay, and the next question is, how many chiral carbons are there in beta D plus glucose? How many chiral carbons are there in beta D plus glucose? So what is meant by chiral carbon? What is chiral carbon? What is chiral carbon? What is chiral carbon? Yes, the carbon having 4 different groups, right? So here this is beta D glucose and this is alpha D glucose. Okay, so look into beta D glucose. How many chiral carbon it has? How many chiral carbon it has? Check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and the last one, it has 2 hydrogen, so which is not going to be chiral. It is a chiral, right? So we have 5 chiral carbons. So therefore option A will be right. Okay, so 5 chiral carbons in beta D plus glucose. And next question is, why are certain rubbers called as vulcanized rubber? Why are certain rubbers called as vulcanized rubber? Because they are formed under volcanic eruption. They are prepared by adding 5% of sulfur as cross-linking agent. They do not use any co-monomer, and by the addition of excessive co-monomer they are formed. Okay, so what will be your answer? Vulcanized rubber. How you will get vulcanized rubber? Yes, very good, right. They are prepared by adding 5% of sulfur as cross-linking agent. Yes, so option B is the correct answer. Very good. Yes, and the next question is, one of the common component of photochemical smog is. One of the common components of photochemical smog is. Now what is photochemical smog? The smog which is produced due to sunlight, right? Photo means light. So this smog is said to be as photochemical smog. So one of the most common component of photochemical smog is, what is the common component of photochemical smog? Yes, so what would be the correct answer? Photochemical smog. No, it is not carbon dioxide. It is not carbon dioxide. No, it is not methane. Okay, do you remember this topic we have started in environmental chemistry, right? Photochemical smog. Yes, so what would be the correct answer? One of the common components of photochemical smog is. So what are the components present in photochemical smog? So we know that it contains aldehyde, okay, and it has oxides of nitrogen. It has oxides of nitrogen, okay, and it has PAN, PAN, peroxyacetyl nitrate. It has formaldehyde in it, acrolein. Okay, so one of the common components of photochemical smog would be formaldehyde. Okay, and the next question is, sodium dodecyl benzene sulfonate, it refers to which type of detergent? Sodium dodecyl benzene sulfonate, it refers to which type of detergent? Which type of detergent? Sodium dodecyl benzene sulfonate. Whether it is anionic detergent or soap, cationic detergent, non-ionic detergent. Okay, so everyone is saying it as cationic detergent. Okay, but that is going to be the wrong answer because it is anionic detergent. See the chain. The chain, it has the sulfonate ion, right? O minus ion. So therefore this is going to be an ionic detergent, right? If something is like this, you have given the answer as cationic detergent, right? So if it has a chain and N plus, see here we have N plus here. So if the chain has positive sign only, then it is going to be cationic. Here the chain has a negative sign, so therefore it is an ionic detergent. Okay, and the next question is, which one of the following act as antihistamine? Which one of the following act as antihistamine? Which one of the following act as antihistamine? Right? Whether it is equinol, morphine, serotonin and bromophenramine. What will be the correct answer? Which one of the following act as antihistamines? What is meant by antihistamines? Anti-allergic. And equinol is a tranquilizer. Serotonin is an antidepressant agent. So bromophenramine will be your antihistamines. Okay? Yes. The actual atomic weight of an element is represented in. I hope everyone will give the correct answer here, right? The actual atomic weight of an element is represented using. The actual atomic weight of an element is represented using. Yes, very good. AMU, atomic mass unit. AMU, atomic mass unit. Yes. Yes, very good. Our next question is, the weight of nascent oxygen in milligrams obtained from 6.32 gram of potassium permanganate, whose molecular weight is 158, in acid medium is. Okay, so for this we have to write the reaction first. So here what happens? KMNO4 in acid medium. So it reacts with H plus to give you K plus Mn2 plus. Here manganese is present, right? So it one will give you Mn2 plus, and you will be having 3 times of water plus 5 times of nascent oxygen. Okay, so here 2 times of KMNO4 will give you 2K plus 2 Mn2 plus, and here there is 6 hydrogen, right? So 6H plus will give you 3 times of water plus 5 times of nascent oxygen. Okay, yes. So therefore what they have asked, the weight of nascent oxygen in milligrams. You are going to calculate the weight of nascent oxygen in milligrams from 6.32 gram of potassium permanganate. 6.32 gram of potassium permanganate, whose molecular weight is given as 158. Okay, so now what you will do? How will you approach this question? The weight of nascent oxygen in milligrams they have given. Okay, they have asked, and they have given you the mass of potassium permanganate and its molecular weight is given. So if mass and molecular weight is given, what we can calculate? If mass and molecular weight is given, what we can calculate? Yes, so what we can calculate? If mass and molecular weight is given, we can calculate number of moles, right? Number of moles. So what is the formula of number of moles? Mass by molar mass, right? Mass by molar mass. So what is mass given here? Mass is 6.32 and molar mass of KMNO4 they have given it as 158. Okay, so we got number of moles now. So if you solve, you will be getting 0.04. Okay, you will be getting 0.04. This is your N. This is your N. Now you got N. That is, now you got number of moles. Now what you can do? You can relate this. How? Right? So, what is the mass of KMnO4 here? Here, 2 moles of KMnO4. 2 moles of KMnO4. It produces how many moles of oxygen? 5 moles of oxygen. Right? So, I can write this as 2 mole produces 5 moles of oxygen. Yes, 2 moles produces 5 moles of oxygen. So, what would be 0.04 mole will produce? That is your X. That will be your X. So, just divide this. You can get X now. So, what would be X? X will be equal to 5 into 0.04 by 2. 5 into 0.04 by 2. Now, we'll be getting X as 5 into 4 is 20. 20 by 2 will be 0.20 by 2 will be 0.1. Yes. So, now for 0.04 mole, how many moles of oxygen will be getting? 0.1 mole of oxygen. Okay. So, we got 0.1 mole. Now, we'll go for the weight of nascent oxygen. Right. So, how can we calculate weight now? M is equal to N into M. N into M. So, here we have calculated the number of moles as 0.1. And what is the molecular weight of nascent oxygen? Nascent oxygen is single oxygen, right? So, what is the weight of single oxygen? It is going to be 16. So, 0.1 into 16 will be equal to 1.6. Okay. So, the weight of nascent oxygen will be 1.6 gram. So, we have to convert this into what? We have to convert this into milligrams because they have asked. Have you all got the answer now? Have you all got the answer? Yes, so therefore it should be 1.6 grams. They have asked you in milligram. Okay, so what you must do? What you must do? Convert gram into milligram. What you must do? Yes, how many milligram it should be? How many milligram it should be? It should be 1600 milligram, right? Yes. So, but here option is not given. Okay. So, it should be, the options are wrong here. Okay, actually. So, it should be either, the question should be in grams. Okay. So, the question should be in grams. Yes. So, we have calculated in grams only. So, your options should be 1.6 gram. Okay, it should be 1.6 gram. Yes. Okay. And the next question is the value of Planck's constant in unit of joule second is. What should be the value of Planck's constant in units of joule second? Yes, very good. 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. Okay. And next is, which of the following reagents may be used to distinguish between phenol and ethanol? Which of the following reagents may be used to distinguish between phenol and ethanol? Yes, both B and C. Very good. Both neutral ferric chloride and NaOH, right? Both B and C. Yes. And next is, the measurement of thermodynamic property known as temperature is based on. The measurement of a thermodynamic property known as temperature is based on. Which law talks about temperature? whether it is zeroth law of thermodynamics or first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, and last is Kirchhoff's equation. Yes. So which one talks about the temperature? Which law talks about the temperature? Yes, it is zeroth law of thermodynamics. It is zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay. So what is zeroth law? It tells that if A is in thermal equilibrium with C and B is in thermal equilibrium with C, then A and B will be in thermal equilibrium. Right? So the degree of coldness or the degree of hotness is given by zeroth law of thermodynamics. Yes, so option A is right. And next is the bond dissociation enthalpy of H2Cl2 and HCl are 435, 243 and 431 kilojoule per mole respectively. What would be the enthalpy of formation of HCl in kilojoule per mole? Bond dissociation enthalpy of H2Cl2 and HCl are given. We are going to find out the enthalpy of formation of HCl. Okay. So how will you find the enthalpy of formation of HCl? How will you find the enthalpy of formation of HCl? Okay. So see, bond dissociation enthalpy means the bond breaking, right? So H2 to 2H. Okay, bond broken down. So the enthalpy is 435 and Cl2 broken down to Cl, enthalpy is 243. Yes, and HCl it breaks down to hydrogen and Cl, right? Here the bond enthalpy given is 431. Everything in kilojoule per mole. Everything in kilojoule per mole. Everything in kilojoule per mole. Okay. So now they've asked you the enthalpy of formation of HCl. Enthalpy of, that is H plus Cl gives HCl. So what will be the enthalpy of formation of HCl? So how will you calculate? We have to take hydrogen, chlorine, right? So but here they have given you H2Cl2. They have given you H2 and Cl2, that is 2H2Cl they have given. So what we must do? We must divide this by 2. Okay, divide these two. First equation, let it be first equation and let this be second equation. So divide it by 2. So what will be getting? 435 divided by 2 will be 217.5 and 243 divided by 2 will be 121.5. Right? So therefore what will be delta H? Delta H will be equal to, just you are going to add these two, H and Cl, we are going to add and minus HCl. Okay, so here there is third equation, right? So you are going to add 1 and 2 and subtract it from the third equation, right? So therefore it will be 217.5 plus 121.5 minus third one. What is third one? 431 minus third one 431. So what would be your answer? So just add these together. So you'll be getting 0, 9, 4, 3, 4, right? 413, 339 will be getting 339. Yes, so 339. 339 minus 431. 339 minus 431. So it will be somewhat equal to 92. Yes, so your answer will be 92. Okay, so see the difference. It is somewhat nearer to 100, right? 339 and 431. So 300, 400, somewhat nearer to 100. So it will be equal to minus 92. Okay, so got this question. What we are going to do? We are going to find out the enthalpy of formation Okay, so what we are going to do, enthalpy of formation means H plus Cl, right? So for hydrogen, since here 2 hydrogen are given, divide the value by 2, 2 Cl are given, divide the value by 2, because we need only 1 and 1. And HCl dissociation, here's HCl dissociation is given, so therefore minus 431 will give you minus 92. Okay, so clear with this question, everyone? Clear with this question? Yes? Okay, so shall we move to the next question? Yes. And the next question is, sacrificial anode coating to zinc over mild steel leads to. Okay, what you are going to do is, you are going to coat steel. You are going to coat steel with zinc. So which among the following is correct? Whether it will enhance the corrosion of mild steel, whether it will increase the corrosion potential, whether the zinc coating will corrode, or hydrogen evolution will take place over mild steel. Yes, very good. Corrosion of zinc coating will take place. And next question is, what will happen to the rate constant of a reaction when the temperature is raised by 10 degrees Celsius? So when you increase the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius, what will happen to the rate constant? What will happen to the rate constant? What will happen to the rate constant when the temperature is raised by 10 degrees Celsius? Yes, so roughly we have studied that when you increase the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius, the rate constant will get doubled. Okay, so in Arrhenius equation, before studying the Arrhenius equation, we have studied this. Okay, so roughly when you increase the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius, the rate constant will be doubled. Okay, and next question is, the equivalent conductance at infinite dilution of ammonium chloride, sodium hydroxide and sodium chloride are given as 120, 240, 150. What will be the equivalent conductance of ammonium hydroxide? Okay, so equivalent conductance of at infinite dilution for ammonium chloride, sodium hydroxide and sodium chloride are given. What would be the equivalent conductance of ammonium hydroxide? So yes, so what will be your answer? Okay, so what you must do, yes, it is Kohlrausch law, very good. Okay, so we need NH4OH. What I am going to do is, I am going to add ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, and I am going to add NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Okay, now what I have extra? Cl and Na. So just you are going to minus NaCl. Yes, so what will be your answer? Okay, so just substitute ammonium chloride 120 and sodium hydroxide is 240 and NaCl is 150. So what is your answer? Have you all calculated? Yes. Yes, so what will be your answer? Yes, very good. Okay, so you'll be getting 210. So 210 will be your answer. Okay, so what we have did, we have added the one which is given. Okay, so NH4 and OH we are going to add, and we don't need Na and Cl, so that we are going to subtract NaCl. Okay, yes, so option B is the correct answer. Very good. And next question is, 100 centimeter cube of an aqueous solution of protein contains 0.63 gram of protein. If the osmotic pressure of the solution at 300 Kelvin is 2.57 into 10 power minus 3 bar, what would be the molar mass of the protein? Okay, so 100 centimeter cube of aqueous solution of protein contains 0.63 gram of protein. Okay, so what is 100 centimeter cube? How will you convert this into liter? 100 centimeter cube, first convert this into liter. Okay, so what you'll be getting? You'll be getting 0.1 liter. Okay, so 1 decimeter cube is equal to 1 liter. So therefore 100 centimeter cube will be equal to 0.1 liter. Okay, so it has the mass of protein is given as 0.63. Okay, mass is given as 0.63 gram. If the osmotic pressure of the solution at 300 Kelvin, so temperature is 300 Kelvin and osmotic pressure is given, that is pi is equal to 2.57 into 10 power minus 3 bar. What would be the molar mass of the protein? So they have asked you the molar mass. So what formula you will be using here? We will be using M is equal to, molar mass is equal to the mass into RT by pi into V. Okay, so initially we have got this form. Using this, pi is equal to C into RT. Right, we know that C is N by V and N is M by M, right, mass by molar mass. So we need molar mass, so the formula will be, when you rearrange this, you will be getting MRT by pi into V. So just substitute the values. So 0.63 into RT will be 0.083 into temperature is 300 by pi value is 2.57 into 10 power minus 3 into volume is 0.1. So what would be the answer? Okay, so just simplify this. Yes, have you all done? Yes, it is option B, right? 61039 will be your answer. 61039 will be your answer. Yes. And the next question is, a compound formed by elements A and B crystallizes in cubic structure in which atoms of A are at corners and atoms of B are at the face center. What will be the formula of the compound? Yes. So what they have given in the cube, A is occupying the corners and where does B occupies? B occupies the face. Okay, so what will be the formula of this one? What will be the formula? So we know that there are 8 corners, so A will be 8 into 1 by 8, which is equal to what? 1. And what would be B? What would be B? B will be, how many B are there? We know that there are 6 faces, right? So therefore 6 into, what is the contribution of each face? It will be half. So which is equal to 3. So what will be the formula of the compound? The formula of the compound will be AB3. The formula of the compound will be AB3. So option A is right. The formula of the compound is AB3. Okay? Yes. Yes. And the next question is, syngas is a mixture of. Syngas is a mixture of. What is syngas? It is synthetic gas, right? So synthetic gas is a mixture of either carbon dioxide and hydrogen, carbon monoxide and hydrogen, methane and hydrogen, methane and carbon monoxide. Yes, option B is right. Very good. Carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Option B is right. Yes. And the next question is, which one of the following alkali metal hydrides will be thermally stable? Which one of the following alkali metal hydrides will be thermally stable? Whether it is lithium hydride, sodium hydride, potassium hydride and rubidium hydride. Which one will be thermally stable? Which one will be thermally stable? Alkali metal hydrides they have asked, right? Okay. Yes. So always remember that if the hydride is present, if hydride means H minus, right? H minus. So which is a very small atom. And if the cation is also small, then the bond between these two will be strong. Okay, the bond between these two will be strong comparatively a larger cation and small anion. Okay, so for a large cation and small anion, here the bond will be weak. So which one will be thermally stable? Which one will be thermally stable? Which one will be thermally stable? Yes, it will be lithium hydride. Because here the bond is going to be strong, right? So therefore it is going to be thermally stable. Here the bond is already weak. So if you supply a low temperature, okay, even in low temperature, this one breaks easily. So it becomes unstable, right? So lithium hydride will be thermally stable. Okay, and then comes sodium hydride. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. This is the order of alkali metals, right? So what happens to thermal stability? Thermal stability will decrease down the group. Okay, so lithium will be more stable. Okay, yes. And the next question is, the correct order of acidic character of the following is. So they have given SO3, N2O5, CO and CO2. Okay, so they have asked you about the acidic character of the following. So how to calculate or how to arrange this one? So always remember that acidic character is directly proportional to the oxidation state. So as the oxidation state increases, the acidic character will also increase. Okay, so as the acidic character, oxidation state increases, the acidic character will also increase. Okay, so Harshav, which question are you asking? Whether it is 23rd question or 24th question? Okay, so now here you calculate the oxidation state, okay, of sulfur, nitrogen and here 2 carbons, right? So calculate the oxidation state, you will be getting the answer. Okay, 23rd you are asking. Okay, so see here, if hydrate, okay, so imagine that hydrate, we know that hydrate is a very small atom, right? Hydrate is a very small atom. So if a very large atom is going to bond with this small atom, the bond is going to be weak. Okay, a large atom, if this is going to bond with the small atom, this one will be weak. This one will be weak. So even a small increase in temperature, so even in low temperature, you can break this. So therefore this one was going to be thermally unstable. So when you heat it, what happens? The bond will break down easily because the bond is weak. But when both the cation and anion is going to be small, here hydrate is small. So if you take the first element, lithium is also small, right? So if both are small, then the bond is going to be strong. So you need a very high temperature to break this, right? So therefore this one is going to be thermally stable. Yes, are you clear now, Harshit? Are you clear now? Yes, okay. Yes, so have you all calculated this one? Yes, Balamurali, option B, you are telling the answer as option B. Yes, option B is right. Okay, so we'll check it. See, what would be the oxidation state of sulfur in SO3? What would be the oxidation state of sulfur in SO3? Okay, calculate the oxidation state. It will be X minus 6 is equal to 0. So X will be plus 6. And in N2O5, we'll be having plus 5 oxidation state. For CO, plus 2, and for CO2, it is going to be plus 4. Now arrange it in the order. So SO3 will be large. So SO3, then comes N2O5, then comes CO2 plus 4 and last will be CO. So option B is the correct answer. Yes, very good. And next question is, bell metal is an alloy of. Bell metal is an alloy of. Bell metal is an alloy of. It is an alloy of copper and tin. It is an alloy of copper and tin. Okay. And next question is, ammonium dichromate is used in fireworks. The green color powder blown in the air is. Okay. So ammonium dichromate is used in the fireworks. The green color powder blown in the air would be. Yes, so ammonium dichromate. What is ammonium dichromate? NH4 Cr2O3. Right? So this is ammonium dichromate. Okay. So we have NH4 plus ion and Cr2O3 minus ion. Right? So what they have asked? They have asked that ammonium dichromate is used in the fireworks. The green color pigment which is released is due to what? Cr2O3. So option B is right. Okay. So initially ammonium dichromate is NH4 twice Cr2O7 is ammonium dichromate. Okay. So this gives you Cr2O3 plus N2 plus 4 times of water. So initially this is orange in color and this one will give you green color. Green color. Okay. So dichromate ion will be green in color. So option B is correct. Yes. And next question is, which one of the following complexing agent is used for the estimation of hardness of water? Which one of the following complexing agent is used to estimate the hardness of water? Whether it is cyanide, pyrophosphate, EDTA and ethylene diamine. Estimation of hardness of water is due to which one of the following complexing agent is used for the estimation of hardness of water? It is due to EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Okay. And next question is, how many sigma and pi bonds are present in nitromethane? Calculate the number of sigma and pi bonds in nitromethane. How many sigma and pi bonds are present in nitromethane? Yes, very good. It is 6 sigma bond and 1 pi bond, right? So CH3 NO2, right? So how many sigma bond here? So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 sigma bond. And how many pi bond? 1 pi bond. So 6 sigma bond and 1 pi bond. And next question is, retardation factor is calculated as. So where we have studied this retardation factor? In chromatography. In chromatography, yes. So what would be retardation factor? Retardation factor is calculated as the distance travelled by the substance from the baseline divided by distance moved by the solvent from the baseline. Okay. So in chromatographic technique, do you remember? We'll be having a beaker here and we'll be dipping a slide in this, right? So therefore this beaker would be filled with the solvent. Okay. So now what happens? The solvent will move up. Okay, by dissolving the reagents in it, compounds in it, it will move up, right? So what it would be the retardation factor? It is the distance travelled by the substance from the baseline. Okay, from the baseline, the distance travelled by the substance divided by distance moved by the solvent from the baseline. divided by distance moved by the solvent from the baseline. Okay, so the ratio between these two is said to be as what? Retardation factor. So this is in your 11th standard 11th unit. Okay, so that is in fundamentals of organic chemistry. Will be studying many processes, right? So in that the last thing is this chromatography. Okay, Harshit, so go through the topic there in 11th standard 11th unit, fundamentals of organic chemistry. Okay, yes. And next is, in which of the following manganese exhibits its highest oxidation state? In which one of the following manganese exhibits its highest oxidation state? Whether it is MnO2 or MnO4 2 minus or MnO4 minus, and D is MnO. So in which one of the following manganese exhibits its highest oxidation state? Yes, calculate the oxidation state of manganese. So which among these four will be having the highest oxidation state? Yes, very good. It is MnO4 minus. So here the oxidation state will be +7. Yes, and here the oxidation state will be +6. And for MnO2, the oxidation state will be +4. And for MnO, the oxidation state would be +2. So the highest is for MnO4 minus. Okay, so any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, fine. So physics sir is here. Okay, so he'll be continuing the session.
So hey guys, how are you all? So yes, I'm on the dock and we are going to start the session. Okay, let me just set myself up a little bit, okay, because you know my head, it will disappear. Thank you. So good evening everyone. Okay, let's start our physics session. Is my voice clear? Is my video clear? And is my height clear? Am I too big? If I'm too big now, I can actually reduce my size a little. Hi everyone. So who are all here? Please put out an attendance. Hashiv is here. Who else is here? I think Balamurli is here. So just put up your names so that I can know who are all here now. Okay. So and I will just take like a couple of minutes. First I'm going to shrink myself. Yeah. So that will be way better. And now. Okay. So now we are going to see AEEE model exam, right? So Krithi is here, Balamurli is here, and Jnana Badi Ram is here. Actually, is this like your actual names? Or is it like you're using it from your parents' mobile and it's quite different? Okay, so if that's your actual name now, then that's how I'm going to call you guys throughout the class. Okay, so anyway, let me just start solving, right? So here is the first question. Okay, so before starting the questions, I just want to give you some ideas about AEEE. Okay, see, when it comes to AEEE, actually the exams or the questions that they ask here, they're actually quite very simple when you compare it to say VIT-EEE. Okay, the level of questions, the problems, they're going to be straightforward questions. They're not going to be tricky. Okay, they're not going to ask any indirect question, but instead the questions are going to be what? Well, they are going to be pretty very direct questions. It is easily solvable. Okay, so be very confident. If you are preparing for AEEE, then you have to be very confident. Let's just say if you just put 85% of effort that you took for VIT-EEE, then actually you can score marks amazingly. Okay, so with this message, okay, I'll just start my session. So here is the first question. Okay, an object of size that is 10 centimeter is kept at a distance of 10 centimeter from a convex lens. Okay, if the focal length of the lens is 5 centimeter, the size of the image is, okay, they are asking us to find the size of the image, and they are saying that here there is a convex lens. So to understand it, okay, we will just first draw a diagram. So here is a convex lens. Okay, I know it doesn't look like a lens, but just imagine it to be. So I am placing an object, okay, just here, and an image is forming here. Okay, so what are all the data that they have given? The object that I have placed here, okay, its size is what? Well, it is 10 centimeter. Okay, at a distance of 10 centimeter from the convex lens. So the distance, okay, from the convex lens to the object is 10 centimeter. Fine. The focal length of the lenses, okay, the focal length of the lenses f is equal to 5 centimeter. So these are all the important data that they have given here. Okay, and now they are asking us to find the size of the image. Okay, they are asking us to find what? Well, find the size of the image. Okay, so they are technically asking us to find what? The magnification. Okay, they are asking us to find what? Magnification. And what is the formula for magnification for a lens? Well, the formula is V divided by U. Okay, you can use the formula V divided by U. So do you know the value of U, that is object distance? Yes, you know the object distance, it is 10 centimeter. But do you know the value for image distance? No, we don't know the value for image distance. Okay, so that's what we are going to see here now. First we are going to see, okay, how to calculate the image distance, and for it what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lens equation. Okay, I'm going to use the lens equation. So what is the lens equation? 1 divided by V minus 1 divided by U is equal to 1 divided by F. So let's start substituting the value here. Okay, so this is the formula. So in this formula I will straight away start to substitute the values. So first 1 divided by V, V is the value we have to find, minus 1 divided by U. In place of U, okay, you have to substitute minus 10 centimeter. Okay, because the object is on the left side, and for the right side it is going to be positive. Okay, for the left side it is going to be negative, right? So we are going to substitute minus 10 equal to the focal length 1 divided by 5. So be careful when you substitute the value for U, it should be what? It should be minus 10. So the minus into minus becomes what? Plus. So if I bring it to the other side, the side where 1 by 5 is, that is to the right hand side, then what will happen? Let's just see. Okay, so 1 divided by V is equal to 1 divided by 5 minus 1 divided by 10. That's what we will be getting. So if I cross multiply it, then 10 minus 5 divided by 50, which is going to be equal to 5 divided by 50, which is equal to 1 by 10. So 1 by V, or V is equal to 10 centimeter. Now I know the value for both V as well as U. What did they ask us to find in the question? They asked us to find magnification. They asked us to find what? Magnification. So magnification, M is equal to what? V divided by U. So V is also 10, U is also 10. So if you cancel it now, then it is going to be equal to 1. The magnification is what? It is going to be equal to 1. So now, okay, the size of the images. So if they ask you to find the magnification, then the answer is 1. What is the size of the image? The value of V, what have we found out? Well, it is 10 centimeter, right? So the answer is also what here? The size of the image here is, it is 10 centimeter, right? So that's how we do it here. Okay, it is equal to what? 10 centimeter. So everyone got it figured out? Okay, so any one of you are having any doubts? Okay, there have been some very important comments. So Amrita Coimbatore campus is a very vibrant campus and a huge campus and has all the facilities. Okay, superb. So thank you Harshavardhan SK for this info. Okay, I think it is going to be very helpful for our students. Okay, so see guys, you might be asking a question here. So we found the value of V as 10 centimeter here, right? But how do you say that even the size of the image is also 10? Well, it is simple. Okay, that is this relation magnification will be equal to V divided by U. At the same time, it will be equal to height of image divided by height of object. Okay, we can also write it as what? Height of image divided by height of object. So we already know V and U, they are both 10. Okay, and the height of image divided by the height of object is also what? It is 10. They have given it on the question. So what will happen is these two terms will cancel each other and you will get the height of image as 10. So once you find the value of V is equal to 10 centimeter, automatically yes, the size of the image is also 10 centimeter. Now, okay, I think Hashiv did ask that question. Okay, that is, he has just put it up now. So that's what I have explained here. Okay, so Hashiv, have you got it now? It is clear, right? So the image distance is also equal to what? Actually the height in this sum. Okay, in this sum, right? So now we'll move on to the next one, right? So here is a biconvex lens of focal length 10 centimeter is to be made from a glass material. If the refractive index of the material is 1.5, so what are the values that they have given here? They given the focal length as 10 centimeter. They given the value of refractive index as 1.5. That's it. Okay. What must be the radius of curvature of the surface of the lens? They are asking us to find the radius of curvature. Again, here also they are talking about a biconvex lens, right? If it is a biconvex lens, then it will have two radius of curvature, but they both will be what? Equal. Okay, R1 will be equal to R2. So what we are going to do here is we are going to use the lens maker's formula. Okay, we are going to use what? Lens maker's formula. So what is the lens maker's formula? Well, 1 divided by F is equal to mu minus 1 into 1 divided by R1 minus 1 divided by R2. But what did I say here? Well, the value of R1 and R2, they are both equal. Okay, so if I subtract them, you will think that okay, it will become 0. That's where you have to be a little careful. Okay, what do you need to be careful about? Well, I will explain it to you. Okay, see, I said that for a bifocal length, okay, there will be two radius of curvature, right? So one value is this side, the other is this side. So it is going to be R1 and R2. But what happens is this is to the left, whereas this is to the right. So you have to take R2 as negative. Okay, you have to take R2 as what? Negative. Okay, so while substituting here, be very careful. Okay, 1 divided by F is equal to mu minus 1 into 1 divided by R minus of minus 1 divided by R. Okay, R2 is equal to what? It should be minus R. Remember this. Okay, it is on the left side, so it should be minus R. So minus into minus becomes plus. So it will be like this, 1 by R plus 1 by R. Okay, so now we'll substitute the values that they have given in the question here. Okay, so what is the value of F, focal length? Well, it is 10 centimeter. So 1 divided by 10 minus equal to what is the value of mu, that is refractive index? It is 1.5 minus 1 into 2 divided by R. This is what we get here. Okay, so now let's complete the sum. Okay, so I'll just complete it in the side here. Okay, 1 divided by 10 is equal to 1 minus 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5. So I'm going to write 0.5 as 1 by 2 into 2 divided by R. So the 2 cancel, then R will be equal to what? It will be equal to 10, but it is 10 centimeter. Okay, it is what? Well, it is 10 centimeter. Okay, so now, right, actually, can you guys see this part of the screen? No, just a second. Okay, yes, now it is there. Okay, So 1 divided by 10. Okay, what I'm going to do? Well, 1.5 minus 1. Okay, it is 0.5, right? So I write 0.5 as 1 by 2. So what happens is the 2 and 2 cancels, then we are getting the R's value as 10 centimeter. Okay, but we are noting that all the options here are in meters. So if it is in meters now, then we have we have to convert the answer that we got here into meters. So R is equal to 0.1 meter. You can write 10 centimeter as what? R is equal to 0.1 meter. So which answer matches here? Well, option A. This is the right one. Option A matches with the correct answer that we have got here. Okay, so everyone is clear with this also? Yes. So let's make this formula sign convention. Yes, Arshiv, you are right. Okay, so Balamurli, you are also able to understand, right? Good, that's very good. What about Jyotishri? Do you understand it, ma? Stay interactive throughout the class. Okay, so that way if you maintain the communication, whatever the doubts you have, you can immediately ask it to me. Okay, so now the next part. Okay, a diffraction grating with 10 power 6 lines per meter is used to determine the wavelength of a monochromatic source. The angle of first order diffraction is 30 degree, the wavelength of the sources. Now they are asking us to find what? Well, they are asking us to find the wavelength. Okay, so what are the values that they have given here? Well, they have given the value of the distance d, that is 10 power 6 lines per meter. So here they given the value of d, okay, as it is lines per meter, right? So while you are writing it, you are going to write it like this: 10 power minus 6. Okay, 10 power 6 lines per meter, right? That's why I'm going to write the value of distance d as what? Because a meter is in where? It is in the denominator. So if I have to write it as distance d, okay, then 10 power minus 6. Just convert it. This is where the mistakes will happen. Okay, is used to determine the wavelength of a monochromatic light source, and the angle they have given it as what? They have given it as 30 degree. Okay, so for grating, what is the formula? D sine theta is equal to lambda. Okay, so now we have to find the value of lambda here, right? We have to find the value of what? Lambda. So just substitute 10 power minus 6 into sine 30 degree is equal to lambda. So 10 power minus 6 into, in place of sine 30 degree, sine 30 is 1 by 2, right? So 1 by 2 is equal to lambda. So before solving, we just have a look at the options. You can see that all the options, they are in nanometer, that is 10 power minus 9. Okay, all the options, they are in what? They are in nanometer. So we have to make sure that we convert the answer into nanometer too. So for converting it into nanometer, what I'm going to do is, here 10 power minus 6 is there, right? I'm going to write it like this: 1000 into 10 power minus 9 into 1 by 2 is equal to lambda, right? So what happens if I divide 1000 by 2? Then I'll get 500. So the answer simply will be 500 nanometer. Okay, the answer will be what? Simply 500 nanometer. Okay, does everyone get it? Hashir, Balamurali, Jyotishri, and one man army. Yes, everyone gets it, right? So one man army is asking a very important question. Sir, in the PDF community la podunga sir. Definitely yes, we will upload it in the community. You don't need to worry about it. We can. Yes. So now the next question, right? So a glass plate, it has a thickness of 1.5 micrometer. The thickness is what? It is 1.5 micrometer. Okay, fine. Now, and refractive index 1.5. Okay, the refractive index is what? It is 1.5. Either in some questions they will represent it as mu, in some questions they will just represent it as n. Okay, so however they represent, you have to be very clear with it, right? So now, okay, is this refractive index, okay, 1.5, glass plate, it is introduced between one of the slits and a screen in a Young's double slit experiment. If the wave of monochromatic source used is lambda is equal to 0.75 micrometer. Again, this is also in micrometer, so lambda is equal to 0.75 micrometer. The phase difference between the interfering waves at the center of the screen is equal to. Now they are asking us to find what? Well, they are asking us to find the phase difference. Okay, the phase difference. So what is the formula to find the phase difference? Well, to find the phase difference, it is 2 pi by lambda into path difference. Okay, here this term, it is what? Here it is path difference. But do we know the value for path difference? That's the important question, right? Do we know the value of path difference? No. Then what do we do? Well, this is a glass slab, right? Then if light enters through it, then there will be a lateral shift. Okay, whenever light, okay, enters through a glass slab, okay, it goes through what? It goes through a lateral shift. That is, there will be actual change in path. Okay, if there was no glass, now it would have went in a straight line. Because of the presence of the glass slab, its path changes, so there will be a lateral shift. Then from this concept, I'm going to bring the path difference formula. Okay, see, for path difference, I'm going to write the formula here as thickness into n minus 1, that is refractive index minus 1. Okay, so now what is the thickness that they have given? Well, the thickness is 1.5. okay, the thickness is what? It is 1.5 micrometer. So I will also write it exactly right, that 1.5 micrometer into what is the value of n? 1.5 minus 1. What is 1.5 minus 1? It is 0.5, right? 0.5 or 1 by 2. So the path difference is equal to 1.5 micrometer into 1 by 2. So if I divide 1.5 by 2, it becomes 0.75 micrometer. Okay, the path difference becomes what? 0.75 micrometer. So I'll just substitute this value here. So what will happen? 2 pi divided by what is the value of lambda here? Well, the value of lambda is 0.75 micrometer. Well, that rings a bell, right? So 0.75 micrometer into 0.75 micrometer. So what will happen here? Well, these two terms, they will get cancelled. Okay, they cancel each other. So the remaining value that you are going to have here is the phase difference is equal to 2 pi. Okay, the phase difference is equal to what? 2 pi, and that's it. Okay, so which option we have 2 pi? Well, at option D. Okay, at option D we have 2 pi, right? So everyone gets it. The path difference formula looks new for Hashiv. Okay, so Hashiv, this formula, that is the path difference, T into refractive index minus 1. T is the thickness and refractive index of the glass minus 1. Okay, it comes from the glass slab scenario in our ray optics lesson. Okay, the 6th chapter, you will be having a concept called the glass slab, refraction through a glass slab. From that only we are bringing this formula. Okay, so have a check at it. Okay, have a look at it, right? Yes, super. So now, okay, the next question, what is the velocity of light in a medium with refractive index 1.5? So it is a very straightforward, easy question. Okay, they given the refractive index as 1.5. Now you know the formula for refractive index as what? Well, velocity of light in vacuum divided by velocity of light in a medium, right? So if you need to find the velocity of light in a medium, then V is equal to C divided by N. So what is velocity of light in vacuum? It is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by what is the value of N that they have given in the question? It is 1.5. So if you cancel it now, it is going to be 2. So 2 into 10 power 8 meter per second. That's it. One of the most easiest of questions. So the option here is what? It is going to be A. Okay, that's a right one. So yes, Balamurli and Hashiv, super, good job. Okay, so let's keep up with answering, right? So now, which among the following electromagnetic radiations is the most energetic? Okay, so can you guys try to answer this also? They are asking which among the following electromagnetic radiation is the most energetic. Well, I will give you a clue. When you're talking about energy, it is, okay, inversely proportional to wavelength. as well as energy is directly proportional to frequency. It is inversely proportional to wavelength, whereas directly proportional to what? Frequency. Okay, so which one of the electromagnetic rays here, waves here, has the highest frequency as well as the lowest wavelength? Well, in order, if I have to arrange it in order now, the one with the highest frequency, okay, I'm going to place it like this: frequency highest to lowest, then the highest will be UV, okay, followed by like there is visible light, infrared and microwaves, right? So what is the order? Well, first you have to, like, from the one with the longest wavelength, if you are going to start up now, first it is going to be radio, and then it is going to be what? Well, it is going to be micro, and then only it is going to be infrared, okay, and then it is going to be visible light, and then it is going to be UV, X-rays, and finally gamma. So after UV you have to go with, okay, the next highest here is, it is going to be visible light, oopsies, visible light, followed by infrared, followed by micro. So that's the order, okay. So which one should be the answer here? Well, ultraviolet light. So it has the largest frequency, and if it has the largest frequency now, then of course it is going to be the answer here, okay. So that's it. So everyone is clear with this also, right? Yes, Hashiv has answered, and Bala Murli, you haven't tried for this, okay. So make sure you try for this, right? So now the next question: which of the following particles have the shortest de Broglie wavelength? If all of them move with same speed, they are all moving with what? They are all moving with same speed. So which of the following particles have the shortest de Broglie wavelength? Is it beta particle? Is it alpha particle? Is it a proton, or is it a neutron? Which one it is? See, if you need to find the answer for here, they are asking about de Broglie wavelength, right? Then you just write down the formula. The formula is h divided by P, that is momentum, or you can write it like this: h divided by mass into velocity. So you can see that the wavelength, okay, it is inversely proportional to mass. The wavelength is what? Inversely proportional to mass. So if the mass is high na, then what should happen? Well, the wavelength should be less, okay. And they are asking us to find what? Which one has the shortest de Broglie wavelength, okay. So which one has the highest mass here? That should be the answer. Oopsies, not proton, not proton. I'm just like doing it wrong. Alpha particle should have the highest mass here, okay. From all the particles that we have here, that is a beta particle, proton or neutron, the alpha particle should have the highest mass, because it is a helium nucleus, right? Technically it's a helium nucleus, so it should have the highest mass. So if it has the highest mass now, then it should have the lowest wavelength, okay. So that's why the answer here is what? It is alpha particle. Yes, super. So Anandan C and Jyotishri, you guys also get it right. So for this question the answer is B, okay. So now the mass of a photon of wavelength lambda is given by, well, we just now saw the formula, right? We wrote lambda as what? H divided by mass into velocity, okay. So I'm going to just rearrange the formula. What I'm going to do is, they ask the mass, right? So let's take mass upwards. So mass is equal to h divided by lambda into v. Now if you look at the option, they have not given v, but they have given c. And what is c? C is also velocity only. It is the velocity of light. So you can just simply write it as h divided by lambda into velocity of light, c. So that is the right one. So which option matches here? H divided by lambda into c. Well, you can see that option C. Okay, let me just move this. Yeah. So option C, h divided by c into lambda. That's the right answer here. So again, does everyone get it? Can we move on to the next one? Yes. Okay. So now, the radius of a nucleus with A is equal to 256 is 8 Fermi, and the value of 1 Fermi is, they have given it as 1 into 10 power minus 15 meter. Okay, fine. The radius of the nucleus with A, the A's value is equal to 4. That is, the mass number is equal to 4. Okay, so how do we relate this? Well, the radius of the nucleus is r naught into a to the power 1 by 3. We have discussed problems from these formulas before in our classes also, right? So we have to use this formula. So r1 divided by r2 should be equal to a1 divided by a2 to the power 1 by 3. So what are the values that they have given in the question? Well, they have given the value of a1 as 256. They have given the value of a2 as 4. Fine. What is the value of r1 that they have given in the question? Well, it is 8 Fermi. Okay, they have given it as what? 8 Fermi. What is the value of r2? Well, that is what we have to find out here. We have to find out the value of r2. Okay, so 8 divided by r2 should be equal to, what is the value of a1? 256 divided by, what is the value of course, a2? It is 4. 1 by 3. So if you divide 256 divided by 4, you are going to get what? Well, you are going to get 64. And if you take cube root of 64, 4 4s are 16, 16 into 4 is what? 64, right? So you will get 4. Okay, so that's it. We can finish the sum now. So r2 should be equal to 8 divided by 4. So if you divide it now, then the value of r2 will be equal to what? Well, it will be equal to 2 Fermi. It will be equal to what? 2 Fermi. So let's just check which option matches here. I can see that option B is matching. Okay, which one is matching here? Well, option B is matching. So again, is everyone clear with this? Okay, because in our classes also we have discussed this like formula specifically. We did, right? Yes. So photons of energy 6 electron volt fall on the surface of a metal with work function 4 electron volt. The stopping potential of the metal surfaces. So now they are asking us to find the stopping potential V naught. Okay, what are the values that they have given here? Photon of energy 6 electron volt. That is the value of h nu, or energy, is equal to what? 6 electron volt. That's what they have given here, and they have given the work function value. So work function is 4 electron volt. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are going to use Einstein's photoelectric equation. Okay, Einstein's photoelectric equation. That's what we are going to use here. So what is the formula? Well, energy is equal to phi naught plus 1 by 2 mv square. Okay, but sir, aren't they asking us to find the stopping potential? Why are you using this formula? Because I don't see a potential in this formula, sir. So why are you using this formula? Well, I know a simple clue. Okay, that is 1 by 2 mv square max will be equal to charge into stopping potential V naught. Okay, so 1 by 2 mv square max, that is the maximum kinetic energy, should be equal to what? Well, it should be equal to the stopping potential of an electron. Okay, only then the electron will get repelled, right? So that's the basic idea. So from this, okay, this formula, I'm just going to write it like this: mv square max. So if I subtract from energy the work function, I will get 1 by 2 mv square max, or the stopping potential. So what is the value of energy that they have given? 6 electron volt, minus what is the value of work function that they have given? 4 electron volt. Okay, so it is 4 electron volt, which should be equal to charge into V naught. In the place of maximum kinetic energy, I am substituting charge of an electron E into V naught, that is a stopping potential. So if I subtract them now, I am going to get 2 electron volt is equal to charge into V naught. So here what I can do is I can cancel E, and simply the answer that I will be getting here is what? 2 volt. So option A is the right one. Yes, Harshav, superb, good job. Okay, so what about others? Harshav is steadily maintaining a conversation. This is literally like a class between me and Harshav. What are others doing? Like Jyotishri, Anandan, Balamurli. Come on, right? I mean, like literally you don't need to answer, but you can maintain a conversation, right? You can just talk with me. What do you feel like? Do you understand this concept, sir? I don't. Please understand it. Please explain it to me again. You can say something like this, right? Yes, you can be interactive, right? Or you're not going to be. Okay, I'll just move on with the next question. I'll be waiting for your comments in the chat box. Let me just see. Okay, the addition of a minute quantity of phosphorus to a silicon crystal makes it. So we are simply talking about the formation of a n-type semiconductor. Okay, well, if you in silicon crystal, if you add phosphorus, okay, which is a pentavalent impurity, then what happens? A n-type semiconductor will be forming. So it's a pretty much very straightforward question. The answer is, of course, it is what? A n-type semiconductor, and that's it. Okay, whenever you add a pentavalent impurity, that is a phosphorus, to silicon, okay, automatically an n-type semiconductor is formed here, right? Okay, so that's the answer. Now the next one, the electric current in a circuit is given by I is equal to I naught sine omega t plus theta. What is the dimension of theta? Will there ever be a question that is much more harder than this, isn't it? Well, there is no dimension for angle. Okay, angles are dimensionless, so obviously the answer is going to be what? Dimensionless. D. Okay, they are just asking the dimension of what? Theta alone. Okay, just tell me the dimension of theta. That's what they are asking, and theta angle is dimensionless, so that's the answer. Okay, so Ashiv is asking, what's this? Okay, what's this? This is a current equation in alternating current, right, Ashiv? I is equal to I naught sine omega t. You will be either putting, instead of theta, will be like putting plus pi by 2 or minus pi by 2. That is a phase difference, okay, between a pure resistive, inductive and capacitive circuits. Okay, yeah. Oh, you are like wondering how are the questions so simple? Well, that's what I said, right? When it comes to AEEE, okay, the questions are going to be very simple when you compare it to IEEE. Okay, Amrita Engineering Entrance Examination is going to be like literally very easy. That's why I said, if you are like very well prepared for IEEE, then you can do superbly well here. Okay, that's the idea. That's what we are trying to convey you guys. It's not like what you think. You guys are all misinformed that these exams are very tough. Technically, actually, they are not very tough. Okay, literally, we are solving the previous year question paper here, the actual question paper. So yes, this is that easy. Okay, you get the point, right? So I will move on to the next question. The velocity varies with time according to the relation v is equal to 3t plus 4. The distance traveled by the body in t is equal to 2 seconds will be. Okay, they are asking us to find the distance traveled by the body in t is equal to 2 seconds. Again, literally another easy question. They are given the relation with respect to time 3t plus 4. See, in place of velocity, okay, we can write it as dx divided by dt is equal to 3t plus 4. So dx should be equal to 3t plus 4 into dt. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to integrate on both the sides. So while integrating, okay, I can actually get the displacement x is equal to integration of dx. So it should be equal to integration of 3t dt plus integration of 4 dt. So what should be the limits, sir, here? Okay, so they have given t is equal to 2 seconds in t is equal to 2 seconds, which means from initially up to t is equal to 2 seconds. So the limits should be simply 0 and 0 and 2. Initially the time should have been 0 and they are asking up to 2 seconds, right? So that's it. All you have to do is integrate this and get the answer and write the final one. Okay, so the displacement x, you can write it as what? Well, 3t square divided by 2, and for t square divided by 2 the limits will be what? 0 and 2 plus 4t and the limits will be 0 and 2, right? So now x is equal to 3 divided by 2. Now if I substitute 2 and if I square it, now it is going to become 4 plus 4 into, at the place of t I am going to substitute 2. Okay, so the 2 here and 4 here cancels and becomes 6 plus 8, so 14. That's it, 14 meter, the value of x. That is the answer, and bingo, C. Okay, that's the answer. Again, a very easy question. Okay, Surendra, A will be the answer. Like Surendra, maybe try to answer, or you're telling something, Surendra. Okay, I don't get it. If like you can convey it again, right? So when a projectile is at its highest point in its trajectory, the potential and kinetic energies are respectively. Okay, that now here is another easy question. Okay, a projectile at the highest point. Okay, see, at the highest point, okay, its velocity will become 0, right? Its velocity, its vertical velocity, it will become 0. Okay, so if it has 0 velocity then its kinetic energy should be what? It should be minimum, whereas, okay, its potential energy, it should become maximum. If kinetic is minimum automatically potential energy becomes what? Maximum, right? So sir, why are you saying kinetic energy is minimum? Because when you throw an object vertically upwards, its vertical velocity at the highest point, what? It becomes 0. It reaches a point, slow down, and then comes back again down, right? So at that point, its kinetic energy, it should be minimum because the velocity has decreased. Okay, because the formula for kinetic energy is 1 by 2 mv square. It depends upon the velocity. So which option says that? Well, the potential energy is maximum and the kinetic energy is minimum. I see that option A is saying that. In option A, they are saying that potential energy is maximum, whereas the kinetic energy is what? It is minimum. Yes. Hashiv, the exam sorry, see the exam pattern, okay, I'll just explain it very simply. The same almost that you had for VTEE, the only difference is you are going to get 30 questions from physics, from chemistry you are going to get 30, from maths you are going to get 40, and that's it. You're not going to have English or aptitude like you had in VTEE. Okay, so you're going to get 30, 30 and 40, so literally 100 questions. That's it. Okay, so now a block of mass 2 kg starts moving when the angle of inclination of the inclined plane is 60 degree. Okay, if the coefficient of kinetic friction is 0.6, then the frictional forces, now they are asking us to find the frictional force. Okay, so what are the values that they have given in the question? They have given the value of mass, which is 2 kg. Fine. Okay, they have given the inclination, that is theta, as 60 degree, and the coefficient of kinetic friction. Okay, so they given the value of mu, and since they say it as kinetic, so it is mu k, right? It doesn't matter whether you put it as mu k or just mu. So mu k is equal to 0.6, and they are asking us to find what? The frictional force. Okay, so in order to find the frictional force, that is a kinetic friction, so I'm going to write it as Fk. Okay, what formula can I use here? Well, remember the angle of repose condition. Okay, the formula that I taught you in angle of repose condition. So in that condition, okay, we'll write the formula for friction like this: mu into n or mu into mg cos theta. This is the formula we have to use here. Okay, whenever they say inclined, okay, in place of n you have to substitute what? Mg cos theta. I have said it earlier, I think you all remember this, right? So for mu, okay, we are going to substitute what? The value that they have given in the question, that is 0.6. The value of mass is 2 into the value of g is 10 into cos 60 degree, my bad, 60 degree. Okay, so what is the value of cos 60 degree? It is going to be 1 by 2, right? So 0.6 into 2 into 10 into 1 by 2, so the 2 cancels, there is 10 and 6, so the answer is 6. Again, this is way too easier. I think many of you would have started to realize that maybe if I prepare well, then I have a very good chance. This is kind of easy, right? So I can sense that your confidence is starting to boost now. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, keep that confidence level high, because you're going to rock it. You're going to do awesome in the exam, right? So next question. Two forces, F1 is equal to 7I plus 2J Newton and F2 is equal to minus 5I plus 3J Newton act on a particle. The third force, F3, that should act on the particle to make it move with constant velocity is, it has to move with a constant velocity, and if it has to move with a constant velocity then the acceleration on it should be equal to what? It should be equal to 0, or the force on it should be equal to 0, or it should be in equilibrium. That's the main thing. Okay, so there are two forces acting on it, right? So the value of F1 is what? 7I plus 2J Newton. What is the value of F2? Well, it is minus 5I plus 3J Newton. First what we will do here is we will find the net force. Okay, we will find the net force acting on the particle. So for it we have to add F1 and F2. So if we add them now, then you are going to get 2I plus 5J. Okay, actually the J should be in small letter. Okay, so like it's not like a big thing because this is an like computer based exam, so you're not going to write anything, you're just going to tick the option, like select the option. Okay, but anyway, so 2I plus 5J, that's the answer we are getting here. Okay, so if the object should be at rest na, okay, then the force F3, it should be equal to minus 2I minus 5J, so that when you add both, the net force you will be getting what? A big zero. Okay, only that way the net force or the acceleration will be zero and it will be in equilibrium. Then only it will have a constant velocity, that is the velocity won't change. So this value should be the answer. Okay, so which option says that here? Okay, 2I minus 5J, which one matches here? Well, I can see that option B is matching here. Okay, so F1 plus F2 plus F3 should be equal to 0, says Ashiv. Yes, Ashiv, that's exactly the point. Okay, so now the next one. Two satellites of masses 3m and m orbit the earth in circular orbits of radius r and 3r respectively. The ratio of their speeds is, okay, they are asking us to find the ratio of their speeds. Okay, so if the satellite is orbiting earth, then it should have orbital velocity. It should have what? It should have the orbital velocity. So what is the value of orbital velocity? Well, it is root of gm divided by small letter r. Okay, it is what? Gm divided by small letter r. So from this I can say that, well, the orbital velocity is inversely proportional to the distance or the radius of the satellite, small letter r. Sir, I have one doubt here. That is, you have already taught us that like g is equal to gm divided by r square. Okay, that is the acceleration due to gravity formula, and while you teaching it, you said that wherever like gm comes, you can substitute g r square, capital letter r square. Yes, I did say. So why can't I substitute it here? Because if I substitute it here now, then this ratio might change. It might be directly proportional to r, right? Well, that's where you have to understand something. Okay, see, if you take earth now, the radius of the earth is a capital letter r, whereas the distance between, okay, the center of the earth and the satellite, okay, it is actually small letter r. So they are actually kind of different values. And also the mass m here, it is mass of earth. Okay, so the formula, the orbital velocity actually depends upon what? Mass of earth, not the mass of satellite. It doesn't matter whether it is 3m or m, actually the value will not get affected because of mass. Okay, but it will get affected because of radius. Okay, r and 3r, because of it will get affected. Okay, so what do we know now? Well, v0 is inversely proportional to 1 by root of r. So we are going to write it like this: v01 divided by v02 should be equal to root of r2 divided by r1. And what are they saying? What is the value of r2? Well, r2 is 3r, whereas the value of r1 is just r. Okay, so 3r divided by r, if it get cancelled now, you will simply be having root 3 divided by 1, and that is the answer. Okay, root 3 is to 1. Option B will be the answer. And is everyone clear with this? Okay, does everyone understand it? Is it easy? Okay, these sums, are they easy to watch, like to learn? Yes. And is your confidence boosting? Please, like of course, share about that. Okay, while you're watching and you're solving and you're listening to me, okay, is it helpful? Like, is it like you're like feeling, okay, literally I can do this? Yes, yes, Balasubramaniam, yes, Ashiv, that's what I'm expecting. Okay, so we can all do this very easily. Yeah, good, very good. So in an adiabatic process, okay, Surendra also says sure Surendra, you can. So in an adiabatic process, the pressure of a gas is proportional to cube of its absolute temperature. The value of gamma, okay, which is the Cp divided by Cv value is. Okay, so the first clue I see in the question is this is an adiabatic process. They are saying that it is an adiabatic process and they are asking us to find the value of gamma, right? When it comes to an adiabatic process, then pressure is directly proportional to temperature whole cube. Okay, pressure is directly proportional to cube of the temperature, which means I can say that pressure dot temperature to the power minus 3 should be equal to a constant. It should be equal to what? Well, it should be equal to a constant, right? Now, another thing is this pressure into temperature, okay, to the power gamma divided by 1 minus gamma. I'll just write it a little more clear and bigger, okay. Pressure into temperature to the power gamma divided by 1 minus gamma. This will also be equal to what? A constant for an adiabatic process, okay, for an adiabatic process. So these two conditions, okay, they are very important to solve this sum, because when you just write down these two values correctly now, then immediately you can solve the sum very easily. Okay, so how do you solve it? Well, you know that in both the scenarios it is constant, right? So you can literally say that P dot T to the power minus 3 should be equal to P dot T to the power gamma divided by 1 minus gamma. So the pressure cancels on both the sides, or you can simply say that minus 3 should be equal to gamma divided by 1 minus gamma, right? So now we will multiply this. So minus 3 into 1 minus gamma should be equal to gamma, right? So minus 3 plus 3 gamma should be equal to gamma. So what happens now? Well, here is 3 gamma, here is gamma. So if I take 3 gamma like to the right hand side, then I will be having a simple relation like this. Minus 3 equal to minus 2 gamma. So if the minus cancels, then gamma is equal to 3 by 2, and that's the answer. So let's just check whether there is an option like this. Okay, so is there an option that says 3 by 2? Yes, there is an option that says 3 by 2. The value of gamma is equal to 3 by 2. Yes, again Harshiv, it is so simple. Okay, and Balasubramaniam, you have predicted it right, and Harshiv also has predicted it right. Yes, it is D. Okay, and yes, it is so simple. So let me just throw another simple question at you. A mass is moving towards the origin along x-axis with constant velocity. Listen to the word carefully. It's moving with a constant velocity. Then the angular momentum with respect to the origin will be. Now they are asking us to find the what? Angular momentum. Okay. Well, if it is moving, okay, towards the origin along the x-axis with constant velocity, then of course, okay, the angular momentum also will remain constant. Okay, it also what? Remains constant. So that's a very pretty direct question. Okay, so that is the answer to here. It is moving with a constant velocity, dude. Okay, Balasubramanian, yes sir. So get that point. That is, its velocity is not increasing, it is not changing, it just remains constant. Okay, so if it remains constant now, automatically its angular momentum is also going to be what? Well, it is also going to remain constant. The velocity is not changing, right? If the velocity changes now, it will change. Okay, so now the next one. The rate of cooling of a liquid is 4 degree. Okay, 4 degrees Celsius when its temperature is 80 degrees Celsius and is 2 degrees Celsius per second. When its temperature is 50 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the surrounding is. This question is from the Newton's law of cooling. Okay, it is based on what? Newton's law of cooling. Okay, so from this formula, how are we going to solve it? From this formula, well, I'll just write the formula, then we will go and figure out. Change in temperature with respect to time should be equal to constant K into T minus T naught. This is the formula. So now I'll come to the question. They have given the value of change in temperature. Okay, they have given it as what? dt divided by d small letter t as 4 degrees Celsius per second. Okay, listen to it. Okay, they have given it as what? 4 degrees Celsius per second. So d divided by dt in one scenario. Okay, we'll just take it as for one scenario, it is like this. In another scenario, dt divided by dt's value for the second scenario is 2 degree per Celsius. Okay, 2 degrees Celsius per second. Right, these are the two values that they have given in the question, and they have given the value of T1, okay, in the first scenario as what? Well, they have given it as 80 degrees Celsius. In the second scenario, they have given it as 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, and they are actually asking us to find the value of T0, the temperature of the surrounding. Okay, they are asking us to find what? The temperature of the surrounding. So let me just solve and show it to you. Actually, it's a very pretty straightforward direct question only, but if we have not solved problems based on this question before, just listen to me. I'll just simplify it for you. Yes, Hashiv, you have predicted it right. This is a ratio sum. Okay, so first, okay, for the first scenario, what I'm going to do is d divided by dt, its value is what? 4. So 4 should be equal to k into the value of t1 is what? 80 minus t0. Okay, and for the second scenario, the value becomes 2. Okay, it should be equal to k into the temperature becomes what? The temperature becomes 50 minus t0. So now what we should do is we have to take ratio of it. We have to divide it. So 2 and 4 cancels and gives 2. K and k gets cancelled. Okay, so we'll just take the remaining terms and solve it. Right, so you have 2 into 50 minus t0. What am I doing here? Well, here is 50 minus t0. I am bringing it this side. Okay, I am bringing it this side and I am multiplying with 2. Okay, so 2 into 50 minus t0 should be equal to 80 minus t0. So we have to just solve this. So 100 minus 2 t0 should be equal to 80 minus t0. Right? If minus 2 t0 goes this side and 80 comes this side, then we'll have 100 minus 80 equal to t0. So 20 is equal to t0. That is the temperature of the surrounding. Okay, so t0 is equal to what? The temperature of the surrounding, and we have got the answer as 20 degrees Celsius, which is option B, and that's it. Okay, so that's a question. So all you have to know is you have to know the formula first. Okay, so what is the formula? D divided by dt is equal to k into t minus t0. So d divided by dt, change in temperature with respect to time, should be equal to k into t. Here t is the actual temperature minus t0 is the temperature of the surrounding, and they asked us to find the temperature of the surrounding t0. Okay, so Sethu Ramalingam has completed with T. Okay, so Sethu Ramalingam, please do share your experience here. So how do you feel about it? Okay, so how was the exam, and how was it? Hard? Was it easy? Please do share it. It will be useful for everyone listening the class, right? So that will be very good. So please make sure. I'm expecting your comments here. Okay, so a charged sphere of radius 1 meter carries a charge of 1 into 10 power minus 9 coulomb. Okay, so I'll just start writing the values here itself. The radius is 1 meter, fine, and they are given the charge as what? 1 into 10 power minus 9 coulomb. So there is a sphere with some radius and charge. Okay, I have written it down. The electric field at the point P, which is at a distance d, is equal to 3 meter. Okay, so for electric field at a point P, the distance is equal to what? Well, it is equal to 3 meter from the center of the sphere. And for electric field at the point Q, okay, the distance is, they are saying that it is 0.3 meter. So our job here is to find two values. One is electric field at Q, the other is electric field at P, and we will start with electric field at P. So it is again a direct question. What is the formula to find the electric field? Well, if you want to find the electric field, then the formula is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, or if you don't want to substitute it now, you can just simply substitute it as 9 into 10 power 9 into the value of charge, which is 1 into 10 power minus 9 divided by anyway, I'll just write the formula once. Maybe some of you don't know the formula, so it is better that I write the formula. K into Q divided by R square. So in place of K only, I am substituting 9 into 10 power 9 into the value of charge is what? 1 into 10 power minus 9 divided by R square. And what is the value of R or D that they have given here? Well, it is 3 meter whole square. Okay, so what will happen if I like square 3 na, it is going to become 9. So 9 and 9 they will get cancelled. Here is 10 power 9 and 10 power minus 9, it will also get cancelled. So the electric field at P will be 1 Newton per coulomb. So which of the options say that the electric field at P is 1 Newton per coulomb? Well, there are 3 options that say it. So this is not enough. I have to find the electric field at Q also. So for Q, 9 into 10 power 9 into the charge is same, 1 into 10 power minus 9 divided by the value of distance is what? Well, the value of distance is 0.3 meter. So 0.3. Okay, 0.3 whole square. What happens when you like square 0.3? Well, it becomes 0.09. Okay, it becomes what? 0.09. So EQ is equal to 9. Okay, just 9 divided by 0.09. So if you cancel it now, then it is going to be equal to 100. Okay, so 100 Newton per coulomb. That will be the answer here. Okay, the electric field at Q is 100 Newton per coulomb. So the right option here is what? Well, the right option here is 1 Newton per coulomb and 100 Newton per coulomb. Okay, so everyone gets it. Sorry, is it easy for everyone? Everyone gets it, huh? What about Harshav? Have you got it? And Said Ramalingam, have you got it? Are you listening to the class here? Yes. And then there is Balamurli and Jyotishri, Surendra, everyone. Good, very good. So now we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so far the questions are very simple, right? And it is going to be the same way. It is going to be very, very simple from here also. Okay, an electric dipole lying along x-axis with moment 5 ampere meter square. So they have said that the dipole moment P is equal to what? 5 ampere meter square. That's what they are saying here. Is subjected to an electric field of magnitude 10 J. Okay, the electric field is 10 J cap. Okay, fine. And they are saying that the like a dipole moment is along x-axis, which means it is I cap. Okay, so they are perpendicular to each other. That's what they are indirectly saying here. So the torque experienced is, they are asking us to find the torque. Okay, see here it is along x-axis. Electric field is along y-axis. That's why they have given the J cap here, right? So if they are perpendicular to each other, then the angle between them will be equal to what? 90 degree. Okay, this is what they are indirectly saying in the question. So if you have to find the torque now, it is PE sin theta. So what is the value of moment? Well, it is 5. What is the value of electric field? It is 10 into sin 90 degree. What is the value of sin 90 degree? It is going to be 1. So the answer is going to be 50 Newton meter. Okay, so that is the right answer here. So 50 Newton meter, that's the value of torque. So I think yes, so everyone gets it, right? Harshav, Jyotishri, Balamurli, everyone gets it. Good, very good. Now a galvanometer of resistance 50 ohm gives a full scale deflection of 3 milliampere current passes through it. Okay, it gives a full scale deflection when what? 3 milliampere current passes through it. The series resistance that is to be connected to convert it into a voltmeter of range 0 to 3 volt is. Okay, now here is an interesting question. Okay, so here is a galvanometer, right? And its resistance is what? They are saying that it is 50 ohms. Okay, its resistance of galvanometer is 50 ohms. Okay, so the scale deflection when the current value, so current through the galvanometer is 3 milliampere. Fine. The series resistance that is to be connected to convert it into a voltmeter. So we are connecting a resistance to the resistance of the galvanometer. So Rg plus X, we are adding some resistance, okay, in series to it, and when we add it in series, okay, it becomes a what? Voltmeter. And the voltage it has now is what? 3 volt. The value or the voltage that it has now is what? They have simply given it as 3 volt. Okay, so voltage of, I'll just take it as voltmeter, right? So for voltmeter, I'll just take it as V, voltage of V, right? So what should I do here? How do I solve it? Well, it is very simple. Okay, we'll take Ohm's formula. So V is equal to I into R. Or from this, I can say that V is directly proportional to I. That is, V is directly proportional to the current I. Okay, or even resistance R. I'll just take resistance, that way it will be more easier. Okay, V is directly proportional to what? The resistance R. So now, okay, we'll just take a simple ratio here. That is, V1 divided by V2 should be equal to R1 divided by R2. Right, V1 divided by V2 should be equal to what? R1 divided by R2. So here what I'm going to do is, first initially what was the voltage? Okay, in place of V1 I'm going to substitute I into R, which is I into R divided by V2 should be equal to the value of R1. I'm just going to take it as resistance of galvanometer divided by resistance of galvanometer, the second scenario, and I'm adding a resistance X to it in series, right? What we are doing is, okay, in place of R1 we are going to substitute the value of resistance of galvanometer, and in place of R2 we are going to substitute the resistance of galvanometer plus the extra resistance that we added it in series. Okay, and in place of V2 we'll just take it as V. Okay, that is the voltage through the voltmeter. So we'll just substitute the values that we know here. For the value of current, okay, we know that it is 3 milliampere, which is 10 power minus 3, into what is the value of resistance? It is 50, divided by what is the voltage? That is through the voltmeter, it is 0 to 3V, so it is 3 volt, right? So we are going to substitute 3 here. It should be equal to resistance of the galvanometer is again 50 divided by 50 plus X. So everyone, you guys, okay, you understand this substitution part, how I substituted this from Ohm's formula. V1 by V2 is equal to R1 by R2. This is the simple ratio. So in this ratio, what I'm doing is, I'm just substituting all the values that they have given in the question. And everyone, do you guys all understand this substitution part? Because if you have done the substitution right now, then you will do the sum also, right? Okay, so Syed Moin is here. Hi Syed, how are you? And like, what are you up to these days? I haven't seen you in a long time. So how are you? Yeah. So what about this? Hashiv has already found the answer. Bing Hashiv. So he says answer is 950. Okay. So let's just see how many of you have predicted the answer now. Okay. So here we go. Right. I'm just going to cancel 3 and 3 here. Okay. What are the terms? Other terms that I can cancel here? Well, if I want now, I can just cancel 50 and 50 also. Then what I will have is 50 plus X into 10 power minus 3 is equal to 1. That's the answer that we will be having. So 50 plus X is equal to 1 divided by 10 power minus 3. If I take 10 power minus 3 to the numerator now, it becomes 10 power 3. So X is equal to 1000 minus 50, and yes, Hashiv was right, it is 950. So X is equal to what? It is 950. So is 950 is in the option? Yes, option B is the right one here. Okay, so Syed Moin is good to know that. So like Syed, what colleges have you like applied? What are you doing now? Okay, you can also say that. And so everyone has understood the sum, right? We can move forward to the next one, right? So here is the next question. Two charged particles of charge ratio 1:4 moving with the same velocity enter a region of uniform magnetic field of strength B and get deflected and move along curves with equal radius R. The ratio of their masses is. Okay, so here are two charged particles and they are in the ratio 1:4. Okay, they given the ratio of their charges. Q1 divided by Q2 is equal to 1 divided by 4. That's what they are given in the question. Okay, moving with same velocity, which means then V1 should be equal to V2 in a region of uniform magnetic field. So the magnetic field is also equal in both the scenarios. Fine, get deflected and move along curves with equal radius. So it is also equal. Even radius R1 and R2 are equal. They are just asking us to find the value of M1 divided by M2. Just please tell us this. That's what they are asking. So first, how do you relate all this? Okay, what formula actually relates all this? That's the question, right? So we are going to take the formula for calculating the radius of a charged particle when it enters a magnetic field. Okay, when charged particle with a velocity v enters a uniform magnetic field, you will know that it moves in a helical path. Okay, it moves in a circular path or helical path, right? So we're going to take that condition, the one that we used in cyclotron and all. Okay, so I'm going to write the formula like this: r is equal to mass into velocity divided by q into b. Okay, the radius is equal to what? Mass into velocity into charge into magnetic field. So from this, okay, I'm going to they asked me the value of like mass, right? So mass is equal to q into b into r divided by velocity v. I'm going to write it like this. So now, okay, m1 divided by m2 should be equal to q1 divided by q2 into b1 divided by b2 into r2 divided by r1 into, oopsies, r1 divided by r2, right? So r1 divided by r2 into now v2 divided by v1. Only the velocity, okay, it should be inversely proportional. All other terms, it should be directly proportional. And yes, Hashiv has given the answer, that is 1:4. Very good, Hashiv, superb. So now we know that, okay, what are all the values? Say v1 and v2 are equal, b1 and b2 are equal, and r1 and r2 are equal. So all these values, okay, all these values, they will be equal to what? They will be equal to 1, because they are all equal. If you divide them, right, it is going to be 1. What is the value of q1 divided by q2? Well, the value of q1 divided by q2 is 1/4. So simply m1 divided by m2 will also be equal to 1 divided by 4. That's it. Okay, so 1:4 is the answer, then option C. Okay, that's it. It's very, very, very easy, right? So now the next question. When a charged particle moves in a region of electric field, E is equal to 3I. Look at the I. Okay, I represents it is moving along x-axis. So 3I Newton per Coulomb, and magnetic field is 5I. Okay, the magnetic field is what? It is 5I. So the trajectory of the particle is, okay, so there is a charged particle. It is entering a region where there is an electric field as well as there is a magnetic field. Okay, so what will it do? And they are both in the same direction too. Then it will start to travel in a helical path. Okay, it will start to travel in a what? A helical path. That's the answer. Okay, so that's what I was saying even in the previous question, right? So whenever there is an electric and magnetic field and a charged particle is entering into it, okay, it will start to travel in a what? A helical path. Okay, so now I think that's it. Okay, yeah, we have discussed all the questions. Super. So these questions are very, very easy, right? Okay, they are so this is how you are going to actually get questions for your AEEE exam. Okay, so if you are just very, very, very thorough with the basic formulas in your books, okay, if you are just very thorough with the basic formulas and the definitions, okay, then you can just literally master, okay, literally you can master yourself, your preparation for this exam. So you have to be very much ready. Okay, you can prepare very easily, and tomorrow, okay, again we'll be discussing a question from V8EEE. Okay, we'll be discussing another mock test from V8EEE, which is also going to be very useful for you, because if you are still preparing for SRM JEE or AEEE, it is good that you just practice somewhat harder questions in the next level. Okay, so everyone, how was today's class? And you all got the point, right? So now, okay, I will be going, okay, and once I go, the max session will start. Harismita ma'am will be here. Okay, she will be continuing the max session. Okay, so I'll be taking my leave, and I'll just see you in few minutes. Like, ma'am will be here in just a few minutes, right? So just wait along. Yeah, goodbye.
Hey guys, today we'll be discussing about the mock test of AIEEE AEEE examination, which is Amrita examination. So yes, let's get into the video. So yes, the first question is the angle between pair of tangents of an ellipse from the point 1 comma 2. Okay, so now let's take yes, this, let's keep this equation, the ellipse equation, as yes. Okay, so when you keep this ellipse equation as s, and it says that it is from the point 1 comma 2. So what I'm doing is I'm substituting 1 and 2. So x instead of 1 instead of x, and y instead of y I'm substituting 2, and now I'll be getting s1 as 6. Hey guys, today we'll be discussing about the mock test of AEEE examination, which is Amrita examination. So yes, let's get into the video. So yes, the first question is the angle between pair of tangents of an ellipse from the point 1 comma 2. Okay, so now let's take yes, this, let's keep this equation, the ellipse equation, as yes. Okay, so when you keep this ellipse equation as s, and it says that it is from the point 1 comma 2. So what I'm doing is I'm substituting 1 and 2. So x instead of 1 instead of x, and y instead of y I'm substituting 2, and now I'll be getting s1 as 6 after substituting. Now next what I should find is for finding the tangent, what I should do, I have to do this formula. So it is basically 3x square, right? So I'm writing x square as x into x1, and y square as, what am I writing? Y square as y into y1. Then I'm just substituting. After this, what I'm doing is, here it is minus 5, this is plus 5. When I take to the other side, it becomes minus 5. So now when I substitute x1 and y1 as 1 comma 2, you will be getting the equation as 3x plus 4y minus 5, that is t. Okay, now this is your formula. Your formula, just note down this formula. Your formula is s into s1 is equal to t square, where your s is the general equation, s1 is 6, and t is your final equation which you got. Now what I'm doing, I'm just substituting that. So I'm substituting that and I'm equating it. First, I'm taking the 6 to the inner side, and here I'm using a plus b plus c the whole square formula. So here I'm doing what? A plus b plus c the whole square formula, and I'm doing. After doing it, what am I doing? I'm taking all those x square, y square, xy and x terms to the other side. So after you get it, let me tell you a formula. Just note down this formula. So basically, if you have an equation x square plus 2xy plus by square is equal to 0, at this time, how will tan theta be defined as? Tan theta is equal to mod of 2 root of h square minus ab by a plus b. Okay, like this only they'll be doing it. Same way, that's how I got the x square coefficient is a and y square coefficient is b, and h is nothing but xy coefficient, which is basically here it is 2h, right? So it will be 2h will be equal to minus 24. So h will be minus 12. That's how I got this h. And I'll be taking mod, and when I do it, you'll be getting the answer 12 by root 5. So what is your final answer? Which is tan inverse of 12 by root 5 is your answer. And now let's go to the next one. So next one, you have this, you have the corresponding, what is this? You have the quadratic equation. They asked you to find the x and y values, right? So basically, when you find the x and y values, you are multiplying this. So you're basically you're doing the matrix multiplication, and you'll be getting the following things. Now what am I doing is I'm comparing this row, first row, to the first element. So it will be 3x minus y is equal to 4. 2x plus y is equal to minus 3. Now what am I doing? I'm multiplying with 5 on the top, so that to get x value, so what am I doing? I'm multiplying with 5. So it becomes like 15x minus 5y is equal to 20.
2x plus 5y is equal to minus 3. Okay, now what happens is it will be 17x is equal to 17. So what happens to x? X is equal to 1. So I get 1. So when I substitute x value in either this equation or this equation, I'll get the y value. So my y value will be minus 1. So this is x is equal to 1 and y is 1. So which is option C. So as we already told you in one of the shots that compared to Witty, Amrita question papers are quite easier compared to Witty question papers. So which is VIT question paper, Amrita question papers are quite easier. So you can attend it very easily. Just have the full confidence, go and write it. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. A student appears for the test 1, 2 and 3. So student appears for 3 tests and he says that the student is successful if he passes in either of 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. So what is he telling? That the student is successful if he passes 1 and 2, either this set of tests or if he passes 1 and 3. So but definitely he should pass 1. Okay, now the probability that the student passing in test 1, 2, 3 are P, Q and 1 by 2. So probability that the student will pass in test 1 is P, test 2 is Q and test 3 is 1 by 2. If the probability of the student is successful is, if the probability of student is successful is 1 by 2, then what is P and Q? They are asking basically what is P and Q. So now you know that A and B are the event of students that is successful. Okay, now what is, so here multiple correct options are there are multiple correct options is given. So you need not, like, you have to choose, but in examination they'll just give you one correct answers. Okay, but this is an examination question, so they might change you the options. Okay, now next, what the student to be successful, in order to the students to be successful, either he should go with 1 and 3 1 and 2 should be possible. Either 1 and 2 if he is successful, it's okay, or 1 and 3 he should be passing it. Otherwise everything he should pass. 1, 2 and 3 he should pass. Okay, this is basically probability. Okay, this is also probability. There is no P given here. Basically it's a union. So what you're doing is you're adding it. Okay, and you know that these A and B and C are independent events because he's writing a separate test, test 1, test 2 and test 3. These 3 are not connected with each other. So I'm splitting it and writing it. Okay, after splitting it and writing, so you know the probability that he'll win the test is P, probability that he'll win the test is Q, probability that he'll win the test in C, that is third test, is 1 by 2. So it's C dash, right? So C complement is nothing but 1 minus 1 by 2, like that only you have to write. So this is A, B, C complement, A, B complement C, A, B, C. Okay, that's how I'm writing. After doing it, what am I taking in common? This will be 1 by 2. I'm taking 1 by 2 as common. So I'll get this kind of answer. So after writing, what will I get? After splitting it, it will be 1 by 2 into PQ plus P minus PQ plus PQ. Okay, so it will be 1 by 2 into P plus PQ. So 1 by 2 into P into 1 plus Q. Okay, and now so you know the probability that he will be successful is given, right? So probability that he'll be successful is given, which is 1 by 2. So I'm equating 1 by 2 to this one. So I'll get my value as P, I'll get the relation as P into 1 plus Q is equal to 1. So when you see all those equations, when you basically see all those equations, any number can satisfy this. Okay, so that's why I'm writing option A is right, B is right, C is right and D is right. Okay, and now what about the next one? So next one is nothing but you have an event. Okay, two events are there, which is A union B plus A intersection B is equal to 7 by 8, and another thing is also given here. You have to find P by A. Okay, basically you have to find P by A. You know that A, it's given, these things are given. Okay, now you know that A union B is equal to A plus B P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now what am I doing is I am substituting this as 7 by 8, and so instead of this, instead of this, so how this became 7 by 8, because when I take this to the other side, it will turn out to be P of A union B plus P of A intersection B. It will turn out to be like that. Now P of B is that, right? So P of B can be written as P of B is equal to P of A by 2. Okay, now what am I doing? I am adding for taking LCM. So when I take LCM, it will become 3 into PA by 2 is equal to 7 by 8. Now when I take to the other side, 7 by 8 into 2 by 3, so which is 7 by 12. So your option is 7 by 12. So option A is right option. So here your options A is right option. Now let's see the next one. Given there will be a given data and you have to find the variance of it. So simply finding the mean. For finding the mean Z bar, I'm adding all these things. Dividing by the number of it. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are total 10 numbers. So I'm adding all these things and dividing by 10 for taking the mean. Now what is the formula for variance? Formula for variance is summation of x minus x bar the whole square by 10. Okay, 10 is total number which is there. Okay, so that's why I'm doing x minus, x is 6, 6 minus x bar the whole square, 8 minus x bar, 10 minus x bar. Similarly, you have to do for everything. So it's given 18. So after that, you have to do 20 minus x bar, which is, so I have to do for everything. 20 minus 15 the whole square, then comes 22 minus 15 the whole square, then comes plus 24 minus 15 the whole square. Okay, so these things are there. Now when you do, you'll be ending up getting these things. Okay, this final things plus is that. So remaining 3 terms I've written. Even this will be in numerator only. Okay, don't get confused. So after finding the calculation, you'll be getting the answer as 33. So your variance for this sum is 33. Okay, so this is quite simple. You can just do it on your own. Now you have to find the area under the circle. This is basically a circle which is nothing but x square plus y square equal to 0 is equal to 49. So your circle will be nothing but like this. Okay, and it's given that its radius is 7. So basically, and its circle center is 0, 0 and your radius is 7, right? So how do you find the radius of 7? Because x square plus y square is equal to r square, right? So r square here is 7 square. So the radius is 7. In order to find the area, which is nothing but pi r square, so for that you should do as 22 by 7 into 7 square, which is 154. So your correct answer here is 154. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So next one, it's given, they gave you a circle equation. This is a circle equation and they told will represent 2 real parallel straight lines. So this represents 2 real parallel straight lines, right? So what will be the option? So for it to represent 2 real parallel lines, so first you have to, let's make into the proper one. Okay, so let's do it as a proper one. So when you see the equation, it's given that 4x square plus 12xy plus 9y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. So when you compare this equation, you'll get what is a, what is h and what is b. Okay, your 2h is 12, so your h will be 6 and your a will be 9 and so a will be 4 and b will be 9. Okay, now you know that this circle equation will represent 2 real parallel straight lines if the following condition is satisfied. If this following condition is satisfied, this will have 2 real straight lines. Now here in the above, if I substitute a, h and b values, I will be getting these many things. Okay, so I'll be ending up getting f G and FG terms. Okay. Now, if I split it and write, you will be getting as this, and F by G is 3 by 2. So that's how I got F is equal to 3, and so here, so actually it is not 93, F is equal to 3 and G is equal to 2. Okay, and C is any value. So your option is C. Option C is your right answer. Now, just these are mantra of substitution. That's all. Do it on your own. Sorry, this is not there actually. So this page is actually not there. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one. If E1, E2 are the eccentricity of a hyperbola, you have the hyperbola xy is equal to 9 and x square minus y. So then E1 and E2 lie on the center of circle with origin at center. E on the line lie on the circle and it has an origin at center. Then what is radius square of director of circle? So before going into the question, let me tell you, if you have a parabola of these form, okay, if you have a parabola of these form, how will you find eccentricity? So basically, parabola's equation is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. At that time, eccentricity's formula is nothing but root of, what is that? A square plus b square by a. Okay. And what is director of circle has its radius? What is, so director of circle of a circle. So director of circle R, that is radius, is nothing but root 2 into radius. This is your formula. Director, you have director of circle for a hyperbola, parabola, ellipse, circle. So here they asked you director of circle of circle, and that formula, that radius formula is given by root 2 into radius. But here they asked radius square. So given answer, you'll get an answer here. In that you have to multiply. So let me tell you how I found the eccentricity. Okay. So basically, how did I find eccentricity? It's given that x square minus y square is equal to 25. I should make in the terms of x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. So x square by 25 minus y square by 25 is equal to 1. So your a square and b square both are same. So which is 25. So a is equal to 5, b is equal to 5. What is the eccentricity formula? A square plus b square by a, right? That is the eccentricity formula, which is nothing but root of 25 plus 25 by 5, which is root 50 by 5, which is nothing but 2 into 25, which is 5 root 2 by 5. You'll get root 2 as your eccentricity. So you'll get root 2 as your eccentricity, which is for both E1 and E2. So that is your point, is a point on circle. So they told that E1 and E2 both have the point on the circle. So that's two eccentricities. So that will be your E1 and E2. So generally, basically, you'll be calculating only for this. Okay. The parabola, the hyperbola eccentricity will be calculated by this formula, by this equation. So E1 and E2 lie on the circle. So root 2 comma root 2 lie on the point. Now to find the radius of the circle, you know that, already you know that circle center is 0 and it has a point in a circle root 2 comma root 2, right? So distance formula, basically root 2 minus 0 the whole square plus root 2 minus 0 the whole square, that will give you the radius basically. So you'll be getting the answer as root 2 plus 2, which is root 4, which is nothing but 2. Okay. Now to find the radius of director of circle, you know that the formula for radius of director of circle is 2 into root 2 into radius. So that's how I got root 2 into your radius. And now here now we found director of circle's radius is root 2 into radius. But we have to find the radius square. So basically 2 root 2 the whole square, which is 4 into 2, which is 8. So which is B is your correct option. So option B, no, 8 is option C. So here, sorry, 8 is option C. So 8 is option C. Option C is your correct option. Now let's go to the next one. So next one, if you say that, if you see the center of circle passes through the following points. So the center of circle is passing through 4, 5, 3, 4. Center of, no, sorry, actually the question is you have to find the center of circle, and it says that the circle is passing through these points. Okay, don't get confused. So you have a circle here, you have a point 4, 5, 3, 4 or 5, 2. You have these many points and you have to find the center of circle. That is your question. So now you have to find, you know, the equation of circle which is having center at different point. So if you have a center at h comma k, so your equation of circle will be x minus h the whole square plus y minus k the whole square is equal to r square. So here you know that the circle passes through these 3 points. So what I should substitute is, I should substitute 4, 5 in terms of x and y, and I should find a relation. So I found a relation. Same way, what I should do, instead of x comma y, I am substituting the second one, which is 3, 4. Same way, I found a relation. Now, what I should find, instead of 5, 2, I have to substitute, instead of x, y, I have to substitute 5 and 2 because the circle passes through these points. Now, I have 3 equations and everything is equated to r square. So, I can compare two equations. Okay. When I compare first and second, both have same r square. So, this term will be equal to this term, right? So, this term will be equal to this term. So, your common terms will get cancelled. This and this gets cancelled. So, you'll be ending up getting this kind of equation. H plus k minus 8 is equal to 0. Now, your second term and third term, okay? Second term and third term, when you compare, you will be ending up getting, so you both will be having r square and r square, okay? So, both of the equation has r square, r square. So, now these terms gets cancelled. So, you will be ending up getting h minus k minus 1 is equal to 0. So, now when you substitute fourth equation and fifth equation, you will be getting your h value. So, when you add both the things, you will be getting h is equal to 9 by 2. Same 9 by 2, if you substitute in equation 5, you will be getting k as 7 by 2. Okay. After this, what am I doing is, I am substituting the k equation in equation 2. What is my equation 2? H square plus k square minus 6h minus 8k. So, h square plus k square minus 6h minus 8k plus, what is this? H square k square minus 6h minus 8k plus 25. So, this is your equation. In this equation, you have to substitute h value and k value. After substituting h value and k value, you will be ending up getting h by 4 is equal to r square. Now, what is your r? R is nothing but root 5 by 2. Okay. So, you will be finally getting, you know h, you know k. And instead of getting h and k, and instead of getting r, you need not get r, because you need not get these terms. After getting h and k, you can directly see the option. So, where it is h is 9 by 2, k is 7 by 2. That's what is given here, right? So, h is 9 by 2, k is 7 by 2. And they just asked you the center. They didn't ask you the radius. So, in examination, just be quick and just write the options. Do not find the center, or do not find the radius. As I found, do not find the radius. I've just given you the radius also for your clarity. Nothing else. Instead of finding this r square itself, you know the center, just go and tick it. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one. Next one, the team has 8 students on the exertion. So, this team has, So, the team has 8 students on the exertion in 2 cars. Okay. So, which one can seat 5 and other only 4? So, one car can have a seat 5 and other can have 4. So, if the internal arrangement inside the car does not matter, then number of ways the car can you can use. So, you know that you have 8 group of students and they can be divided as 5 and 3, okay, or 4 and 4, okay. Correct. So 8 students can be divided as, because you already know that it can, one car, you have 2 cars, in here you have 5, and other things you can, 4 can be seated. So we can divide 8 as 5 and 3 or 4 and 4, like this you can divide. But you cannot divide as 6 and 2, right? You cannot divide like that, 6 and 2, because both the cars does not have 6 numbers, okay? So in first way, so 8 students can be did as 8 factorial by 5 factorial into 3 factorial. The first way is 5 into 8 students can be split as, in 8 different ways they can split, right? So 8 factorial ways they can split, and 5 factorial by 5 factorial into 3 factorial. So your answer will be 56. Similarly, in second way it is 8 factorial by 4 factorial into 4 factorial, which is 70. Okay, so these are total number of ways. When you add it, basically you'll be getting 126. So your option is option C. Okay, now let's go to the next one. The number of ways 7 persons can be arranged at one round table if a particular person may sit together, may not sit together. So they may not sit together. So generally the formula for n peoples to be seated in round table, the formula is n minus 1 factorial. So you have totally 7 people to be seated, right? So for 7 people to be seated, it will be 7 minus 1 factorial. Okay, now how the now number of ways 2 particular person can sit together. So you have 7 persons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, 7 persons. So you assume these 2 persons as 1 person, right? So you're assuming these 2 number of like how many? This is 6, not 7. So right, you have 7. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you have 7 people. In that you are assuming that 2 particular persons sit together. So your count will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 4 and 5. Extra you'll have 6. So basically you know that number of people can be seated around is n minus 1 factorial. So here you know that n is 6. When this is clubbed together, remaining will be 6. So 6 minus 1 factorial, which will be 5 factorial. How into 2? Because these 2 can be seated like this. No. So first you're having these 2 means later one who's sitting in left can turn to the right, and other who's sitting in the right can go to the left. In these 2 itself, they can change. So that's why into 2. So now you know the total, and you know how you know that if 2 particular persons sit together, what is your combination. Okay, now in question they asked they cannot sit together. So simply what you have to do, you have to subtract and you have to write. So basically you are getting it as 480. Okay, now let's go to the next answer. Next question, the number of way in which 6 men, 5 women can dine in a round table if number of 2 women can sit together. Same way, 6 men and 5 women are in the dining table, where two women cannot sit together. Okay, now you know that there are 6 men. So if they sit in round table, basically be n minus 1 factorial, which is 6 minus 1 factorial, which is 5 factorial. It is a circular permutation property. So you know that just now in previous thing, if we are sitting in circular, number of ways you can sit is n minus 1 factorial. Okay. Now number of ways placing a woman in between. So if there are 6 men, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I place 1 woman between 2, so basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. So they told no woman should sit together, but men can sit. So you can directly place like that, right? So number of ways women can sit between, but 2 men can be together. Okay, 2 men can be together. But what they told, 2 women cannot be together. So basically you have 6 men. In between them, they can go in 6 kind of ways. They can one woman can be seated in 6 kind of ways. Okay, another woman, after she got a place here, other woman will have only 5 kind of ways to sit. If even she got placed here, other woman will have 4 kind of places to be seated. Okay, again, that's how I got 6 factorial. Okay, so for final answer, you have to multiply both. So your answer here would be 6 factorial into 5 factorial. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Next is, you have a z dash complex number. You have to find the angle between them. Now you know what is z. Z is given, so tan theta will be y by z, and z bar is nothing but iz. I've kept z bar as iz, so you will be getting, when you multiply the I inside, you'll be getting I, and here it will be I square y, it will be minus y. Okay, and now here, what is argument of z bar? So what is argument of z bar, which is minus x by y? Okay, so basically it is nothing but minus x by y. So basically you have to put the imaginary part first and divide by the real part. So imaginary part divided by real part, same way imaginary part divided by real part, but you have minus symbol in the real part, so you're keeping it as common. Now you have to find the angle between these two. Angle between these two, let me name it as alpha. So it is basically tan of theta dash minus theta. So it's nothing but tan theta minus theta dash. So basically tan theta dash minus tan theta by 1 plus tan theta dash tan theta. Okay, and now you have to substitute the corresponding things. So when you substitute the corresponding things, here denominator becomes minus 1 and denominator becomes 0. So this will be turning to infinity. Okay, so tan alpha turns to infinity. What about alpha? So when will tan turn to infinity? If the angle between them is right angle. Okay, so your angle between them is right angle. That's how you got it. Now let's go to the next one. You have a line of equation. So you have a line passing through the point 1, 0, and the distance from origin is given. Now you have to find the line. Okay, so basically you know the line formula, which is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Instead of y1 and x1, you have to substitute these formulas. You will be ending up getting like this. Now you know that from origin, your distance is root 3. So it is basically mod. So it is basically, this is your formula, which is from origin, it's given that your distance is, what is your distance? From origin, it's given that your distance is basically root 3 by 2. So in this equation, basically mx minus y minus m by root of the coefficient, which is 1 square plus m square. Here, as it is origin, your this term and this term will be 0. Because it is origin, your x term and y term will be 0. That's how you got minus mod m. Now when I square on both the sides, you'll be ending up getting this, and you'll be getting an m. Now here, instead of m, if I write, my answer will be this. Root m, instead of m if I write plus root 3, and instead of m if I write minus root 3, my answer will be this. Now root 3x minus y minus root 3, so your answer would be option A. So option A will be your answer. Okay, now let's see about the next one. The reflection of a plane. You have a plane, you have a reflection of a plane in the plane. So reflection of this plane is there inside this plane. So now what is your reflection, they asked. So you have two planes. The fact that reflection of a plane in a plane is given by this whole formula. So let me write what is this formula, which is 2x plus 3y plus 4z minus 3 is equal to 0. And now what about the next one? X plus x minus y plus z. What is this? X minus y plus z minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. Here, what is your A dash? Let me write. A dash is 2, B dash is 3, C dash is 4, D dash is minus 3. Okay. Now, what is your A? A is 1, B is minus 1, C is 2, sorry, C is 1, D is minus 3. So, now, just a minute. So, if I write it, yeah, that is what you got. Now, if you write it, if you substitute all these things in this formula, all the given values in this formula, so you will be, this is your reflection formula, and here you will be ending up getting this equation. Okay, just remember the formulas and just substitute the values. That's all, you can directly get it. Just formula substitution, nothing else. So this option A is your right option. I have given you what is A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. Just substitute in this formula and see, you will be getting it. Okay. Now, if A vector, B vector, C vector are given, now how do you find it does not exceed or not? Okay. So basically, you know, this is your A vector, B vector, C vector. It can be written as like this: 2 into A square plus B square. So basically, if you split this, it will be mod of A square minus 2AB plus mod of B square. Instead of mod, I'm just writing B square itself. So it will be A square minus 2AB plus B square plus A square, sorry, plus B square minus 2BC plus C square plus C square plus A square minus 2AC. So here, when I combine these and this, everything, all the square terms are repeated twice. So I've taken this and repeated. And when you take minus out from the combined terms, minus 2 outside, you will be getting AB plus BC plus CA. Okay. Now it will be of 6 minus 2 into AB plus BC plus CA. Now after this, what am I doing is, as we all know that this is equivalent to A plus B plus C the whole square, and this is greater than 0. So this is basically greater than 0. And now what am I writing? I am directly substituting this and doing. Okay. There's no square here. Simply this will be equal to 0, and it will definitely be greater than 0 because the whole term is equivalent to A plus B plus C the whole square. Whole square means it will be 0 or greater than 0. It won't be a negative value. So I'm just writing it like this. Now what am I doing? I'm taking this 3 to the other side. When I take this 3 to the other side, it will be minus 3. I'll be getting it as minus. So you'll be getting it as this term, and I take minus to the other side, minus 2 into, you'll be getting so and so value. So now what is your equation 1? So when I compare from equation 1 and 2, so this is your equation 1, this is your equation 2. So when I write it, it will basically be, instead of this term, I can write it as 3. So, and you have a minus term here, right? So your equation will be equal to less than equal to. So your answer will basically be 6 plus 3, which is 9. So your answer would be maximum value it can hold is 9. Okay. And now let's go to the next part. So you have an adjacent side of a parallelogram, and then mod of A plus B is equal to mod of A minus B is necessary and sufficient condition for a parallelogram B. So if you have this condition, how can you say what can you say about a parallelogram, whether it is rhombus, square, rectangle or trapezium? Okay, you have this value when I'm taking to the other side and I'm squaring it. So yeah, before taking, I'm just squaring it directly. Okay, before taking, I'm just squaring it directly. Now I am taking to the other side. Okay, like that I took to the other side. Now what am I doing? I am substituting it. Okay. Okay, I am substituting it, and if I substitute it and if I write it, so it basically plus, and here minus of A square plus B square minus 2 AB basically. So this will be A square plus B square plus 2AB minus A square minus B square plus 2AB. This and this get cancelled. You'll get 2AB as 0. So A dot B will be 0. So what do you say about A and B? If A dot B is 0, you say a dot product is 0. They are perpendicular to each other. If, as you already told, that A and B are adjacent side of parallelogram. If they are perpendicular, then what happens? In parallelogram, what is the property? The opposite sides are equal, right? But the angle is not 90 degree. If the angle is also 90 degree, then you can say it as a rectangle. Okay, then you can say it as a rectangle. That's how you got this one. Now let's go to the next one. So what about the next one? They have given you that the ratio of roots is same as the ratio of roots of this one. So when you take the ratio of roots of both things, it's same, they told. So how do you find? What is your answer? That's how they have given you. Now you can see that I'm keeping alpha and beta as the first ratio. Basically, it's not cube, it's square. And gamma and delta as the second roots of the equation. Now what am I doing is, I am saying that the ratio are equal. They say the ratio alpha plus beta is equal to gamma plus delta. The ratios of the roots are same. Same way, the reciprocal of ratio will also be same, right? Now what am I doing? I'm adding both. This is not 2, this is alpha. So when I'm adding both, I'm taking LCM. When I take LCM, this will be alpha square plus beta square by alpha beta. When I take LCM, I'll be delta square plus gamma square by delta gamma. Now after that, I'm adding by 2. So I'm adding on the both sides by 2. Now after adding 2, I am taking LCM. If I take LCM, my answer would be alpha plus beta the whole square by alpha beta, then delta plus gamma the whole square by delta gamma. Now here, when this equation itself, you know that what is alpha plus beta? It is minus B by A. Alpha beta is C by A. And here, what is gamma plus delta? Gamma plus delta is equal to minus 2Q by P. What is gamma delta is R by P. That's what I'm substituting here. After substituting and after squaring, you'll be ending up getting like this. After squaring, what happens is, so this will turn to be 4B square by A square into A by C. That is equal to 4Q square by P square is equal to P into P by R. Okay, now what happens is, this term and this term gets cancelled. You'll be getting, and this 4 and this 4 will get cancelled. So B square by AC is equal to P square by PR. This is not power, PR. Like this, you'll be ending up getting, that is your answer. B square by AC is equal to Q square by PR. So your answer is option A, not option B, nothing else. Now let's go to the next option. So here they have told you that you have 3 system of linear equation. They are asking you to find whether you have infinite many values for the lambda, or exactly 1 value for the lambda, or 2 values for the lambda, or 3 values for the lambda. And they've given that it has non-trivial solution. So now I'm just writing the coefficient of everything in a determinant form, and I'm equating to 0. After equating to 0, I will be getting my, and I take the determinant, so that I'll be getting my lambda value, right? So when I take the determinant and after solving it, I'll be getting minus lambda into lambda square minus 1 is equal to 0. So my lambda will turn out to be 0 or lambda square. Either you can say that lambda is equal to 0, or you can say that lambda square minus 1 is equal to 0. So lambda square is equal to 1. Lambda is equal to plus or minus 1. So you have 3 exact values for lambda. So your option is option D, 3 exact values for the lambda. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. You have 2 matrices and it's given that AB is equal to B, BA is equal to A. Then A square plus B square is equivalent to. Okay. Now instead of A square, and you know that it is matrices. Okay. Don't get confused. It's matrices. So I'm splitting it as in writing A into A and B into B. So instead of this A, I can write it. It's given that instead of the A, you can write it as BA. I'm writing it as BA. Instead of this B, I'm writing it as AB. Now I'm just taking the brackets to the other side. It will become AB into A, BA into B. Instead of AB, I can write it as B. Instead of BA, I can write it as A. So instead of again this BA, I can write it as A. Instead of AB, I can write it as B. So your answer here is nothing but A plus B. Okay. Now, what about next one? Equation of the normal to the curve. So you have to find the equation of normal to the curve. So first, given a equation is given. Now what am I doing is, I'm writing this term 1 plus x the whole power y is can be written as e power log of 1 plus x power y. Okay, like this I'm writing. Okay, so equation other things remains the same. And what about next one? You have to find, for finding the equation of normal, you have to find the slope. For finding the slope, I am differentiating. So let me differentiate. Okay, basically what am I doing? I'm differentiating. And when you differentiate the following thing, this term, you will be ending up getting this. Okay, just solve it on your own. I have given all the steps. Just differentiate on your own and just solve it. After differentiating, what am I doing? I'm substituting at x is equal to 0. So equation of, they are asking you to find equation of a curve, right? Equation of normal of a curve at x is equal to 0. Here, what am I doing? I'm substituting 0 to it. So when I substitute 0, so to the first term itself, this one, this term itself, so in the equation 1, if I substitute 0, I'll be ending up getting y as my 1. So now if I substitute, you know x is equal to 0, and then if x is equal to 0, y will be 1. So here, for this one, if you substitute after differentiating, you need to find the equation of slope at x is equal to 0 and comma 1, right? So your slope will be basically 1. Now you have to find normal, right? So this, what we found is the slope of the tangent. Okay, here to find the slope of the normal, generally you have to put a negative sign in front. Okay, reciprocal and a negative sign. So reciprocal of 1 is 1 and a negative sign. So your equation will be x plus y is equal to 1. Okay, so equation will be x plus y equal to 1. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So next one, you have to find C in the Rolle's theorem. So Rolle's theorem, you should know what all the properties. First, it will be continuous and differentiable. Then f dash of C equal to 0. You can say that. Okay. Now here, let's see what is f of a. Okay, now you have to see whether the function is differentiable and continuous or not. So you know it is a polynomial function. No, you know that's a trigonometric function, sin x minus sin 2x. So, and it's given, like you can find by seeing the function itself, you know that it is differentiable and continuous, right? So I'm finding what is f of 0 and f of pi. So what is f of 0? F of 0 is also 0. F of pi is also 0. So what can I say that? What is a and b? A is nothing but 0. B is nothing but pi. So f of 0, you know the fact that f of a is equal to f of b, right? One second. You know the fact that f of a is equal to f of b, and you know that c lies in the interval closed interval 0 comma 1. You know that c lies in the interval 0 comma 1 because sine can go from sine a function, it generally goes from 0 to minus 1 to 1, but we are restricting it to 0 and 1. Okay, now what happens to the next term? Now what is happening is I'm putting it as f dash of c should be equal to 0 by the Rolle's theorem. Okay, now when I put f dash of c, it will become sin x will become cos x and sin 2x will become 2 cos 2x. Okay, now what I'm doing, instead of the x, I'm substituting c and finding the value of cos c. After finding the value of cos c using the quadratic equation minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 2 minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So this equation I am solving it and I'm getting the c value. So your option here is option A. Okay, so option here is option A. Okay, so basically you need not So this is not necessary, but just go from this. You have f of c, you need not write that step, just you need not write any steps, but I'm saying that it should lie in closed interval 0, 1, and so f dash of c can be f dash of c is equal to 0. So you have to go. Now you have to find the limit value of the following thing. Now we know that. Let's see what is the limit value. When I substitute the limit value, let us assume that limit of x power sin x be L. So when I take log on both the sides, it will be, when I take log, it will be sin x into, it will be basically log of x power sin x. So it will be sin x into log x. Okay. Now you know that sin x is cosec x. So basically it will be infinity by infinity form. Okay, now what happens? It is an infinity by infinity form. Instead of log x, I'm using L'Hospital rule since it is infinity by infinity form. So when I differentiate numerator and denominator separately, you will be ending up getting cos x. So it will be cosec x into cot x. That can be written as 1 by sin x. This can be written as cos x by sin x. So basically it's nothing but cos x by sin square x. Okay, so it's basically cos x by sin square x. You'll be getting like this. Okay, now after this you already know that this can be splitted as sin x by x into sin x by cos x. So basically you know that when x tends to 0, sin x by x is equal to 1. So what can we write? So we can write it as tan x. So tan 0, basically tan 0 is 0, and when this side it is log L. So when I take the log to the other side, e power 0, which is nothing but 1. So your answer here is 1, option A. Okay, so now what option here for the LHS is 1. What about the RHS? So RHS will also be equal to 1 basically. Because it might not be equal to 1 also, but just check it mildly. You need not solve the RHS. We have solved the RHS. You need not solve the LHS very properly. So either of these two will be there in these options. Either it can be 1 or it cannot be, does not exist. When does not exist? When LHS is not equal to RHS. Right hand limit is not equal to left hand limit. So I found the right hand limit. Now left hand limit I'm finding. Similarly it will happen. Now so same way I am finding, and what am I doing? I'm substituting, I'm putting it as log of something. So when I put it as log of something, it will basically be, so minus sine power x, I'm writing it as h into sine power minus h. Okay, basically I'm doing it as like this because I'm taking this minus x as my h. Okay, because inside log you won't have any minus functions, right? So I'm just writing it as like this, and I'm taking log, and already you know that this is 1 by cosec. So basically this is 1 by sine, will be cosec. Same way you got, and you got this minus and minus got cancelled. Same way you got LHS is LHL is equal to 1. So basically here you just one thing you have to remember, take this x as minus. Instead of x you're taking it as h as minus x. That's only thing we are doing it, and we are using the regular thing. Regularly L'Hospital rule 0 infinity by infinity form. So using L'Hospital rule and you're finding nothing else. Okay, it is better to find both the things, but just rule out the options. By seeing the options, just rule out. So by looking at the options, you found the RHL, then either of this will come or this will come, and if RHL is not equal to LHL, then it does not exist. If it was equal, it should be this answer alone. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Next one, you have to find sine theta plus cos theta is equal to 1 by 5. So what am I doing is I'm squaring on both sides. So it will be sine plus cos the whole square is equal to sine square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sine theta cos theta. So this will be 1 plus sine 2 theta. So this will be like this. Now what am I doing? I'm taking to 1 to the other side. So basically it will be minus 24 by 25. So basically this will be 2 sin theta formula, 2 tan theta by 1 plus tan square theta. Okay. When I take, when I cross multiply, when I do all those things, I'll be ending up getting like this. After getting, I'm just solving this quadratic equation. So this is just a quadratic equation. See, instead of x square, you have tan square theta, and instead of x, you have tan theta. You're just solving it. Solving the quadratic equation, you'll be ending up getting this kind of splitting. After splitting, when you substitute theta, 3 tan theta plus 4 is equal to 0. So tan theta is equal to minus 4 by 3. And the other thing will be minus 3 by 4. So your answer will be, in either of them, only you have minus 4 by 3. So I'm just going for the first option, because the second option is not given in the options. Now let's go to the next one. You have a angles, they are in AP. The greatest angle is doubled the least. So your greatest angle is double the least. Find the angle in the circular measure. So they're asking you to find the angle in the circular measure. And let me assume that the angles are in, what is that? The angles are in what? AP. So if it is in AP, I'm writing it as A minus D, A and A plus D. And it's given that, what it is given, the greatest angle is twice the, is double the least angle. So let me take this as my greatest angle. My greatest angle is double the least angle. So when I double it, I'll be ending up getting this form. So now after solving, A will go to the other side, this will go to the other side. So A is equal to 3D. Now when I substitute all those angles, the sum of all three angles will be equal to 180 degree. So now your 3A will be equal to 180. What about your A? Your A is equal to 60 degree. Okay. What about if your A is 3D? What about D? A by 3. So A or D is equal to 60 by 3, which is 20 degree. So what, now let me find, I know what is A, I know what is B. So A minus D is 40, A is 60, A plus D is 80. So, and we already know this, you should know definitely, because if it is in AP itself, we'll be writing only as this form. So your answer is 40, 60 and 80. So your answer is 40, 60 and 80. And one more trick I'll tell you. Just one more trick, instead of solving, just check the greatest angle. So they told that the greatest angle is double the, like instead of solving like this, we can also check by the questions itself. So this is your greatest angle. So is your greatest angle double the least angle? Yes, it is double. Is your greatest angle double the least angle? No. So this option is ruled out. Is greatest angle double the least angle? Yes. Is greatest angle double the least angle? No. So the two options are ruled out. Next, check if this is in AP or this is in AP. So difference between first two terms is 30. Difference between second two terms is 10. So this is also not in AP. So just you can directly go for the A instead of solving all these things. Okay. I've just told you the method to solve it. But the easier trick is just look at the option, check with the given conditions, then solve it. Okay. Now, harmonic mean of the roots of equation. They asked you the harmonic mean. So for finding the harmonic mean of 2, this is your formula. 2 alpha plus beta by alpha beta. So now you know that the product of the roots is. So what is the product of roots? Is the C by A. Here C, what is A, B, C? Let me write it. What is A here? A is 5 plus root 2, B here is minus of 4 plus root 5, C here is 8 plus 2 root 5. Okay. Now what am I writing for finding the product? It is basically C by A. So basically C by A, that is a product of roots. What is the sum of root? It is minus B by A. That's how I got this. Okay. Now what is my product of roots? This is alpha plus beta. So basically it will be 2 into 8 plus 2 root 5 by 5 plus 2 root 2, and sum of root is alpha plus beta, which is nothing but 4 plus root 5 by 5 plus root 2. So this and this get cancelled. This will be your answer. After this, what am I writing? So basically from here again, if I take 2 outside, it will be 2 into 2 plus 4 plus root 5 by 4 plus root 5. So this 4 plus root 5, this 4 plus root 5 get cancelled. So your harmonic mean is 4. So what is your harmonic mean? That is 4. Now let's go to the next one. You have to find the general equation of the type. Okay. So for finding the general equation of type, what are you supposed to do? So here, the general equation is of the form dx plus dy. Now for finding that, integrating factor is, it is just basically substituting the formulas. So your option will be option C. Basically what are you doing? You're just substituting the formulas. We already know the formula for dx by dy plus px is equal to q. Just direct question. If you know the formula, you can answer it. These are just formulas for solving the linear differential equation of this kind of thing. Generally, you would have studied two equation. So here we have to substitute this. This is just formula substitution. It is as easy, right? Now let's go to the next one. Here they have given that A, G, and H are arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean for the 3 numbers. Now they are finding the roots of the equations are given by. Okay. Now since A is nothing but arithmetic mean. Now arithmetic mean is I'm adding all the 3 and dividing by 3. Because of 3 numbers I'm adding 3 and dividing 3. So you'll be having it as 3a. Now what about geometric mean? Geometric mean is nothing but when I'm multiplying all the 3 numbers, power 1 by 3. So basically ABC will be g power 3. Okay. Now harmonic mean, just now I told you it is product of the numbers, right? So product basically, so it will be 3 alpha beta gamma 3 into A, this is your formula. Basically, these are your formulas. 3 into ABC by AB plus BC plus AC. So, now what am I doing? I'm taking this H to the other side. It will be 3 ABC by H. So, it will be 3 into GQ. So, you know what is ABC? I'm writing it as GQ by H. Now, what is your cubic equation? So, your cubic equation for the 3 things can be written as x cube minus a plus b plus c the whole square plus what is this ab plus bc plus ca. This is your general equation. Here you know what is a plus b and 3 this thing and abc. Just substitute that because we have already found from 1 to 3 you will be getting the answer. Here you have to just know the basic formulas for arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. Arithmetic mean formula a plus b by c by 3. Geometric means formula is given, and harmonic mean formula for 3 numbers you should know. These are the formulas. Okay. So from that you will be getting option D as your right option. Okay. So option D is your right option. Now let's go to the next one. You have 2 lines are the tangents to the circle. You have to find the radius of circle. So you know that T1 is your tangent 1 and T2 is your tangent 2. So when I take that, when T2, I'm taking 2 commonly outside, you'll be ending up getting like this. So what is your A? A is this one. What is your B? Minus 4. What is C1, C2? 4 and minus 7 by 3. So what is your slope? Slope is basically nothing but your negative of your coefficient of x by coefficient of y. So that's how I got coefficient of x by coefficient of y. I got the answer. So now if the 2 tangents are parallel, so you know that, how do you say 2 tangents are parallel? Because you have the same x values and y value, only the coefficient differs. So that's how you can say the 2 tangents are parallel. So then distance between 2 parallel lines is given by d1 c1 minus c2 by root of a square plus b square. In that formula, if I substitute, I'll be finding distance between 2 parallel tangents. Okay. Now we know the distance between two parallel tangents is equal to the diameter of a circle. So we know that distance between 2 parallel tangents of a circle. So basically this is your tangent. So this is your tangent and this is your tangent. Basically the distance between perpendicular distance between 2 parallel tangent of a circle is equal to diameter. So your diameter is 3 by 2. What is your radius? diameter by 2, which is 3 by 4. So basically you're finding whether the tangents, whether they are parallel or not. So we found that it is parallel. So the diagram will be like this, and you're finding the distance between two parallel tangents. The distance between that will be equivalent to the diameter of a circle. Then you'll be finding it. Now you have to find the distance between lines. So now I have to find the distance between lines. Similarly, you have to find whether the lines are parallel. Yeah, x coefficient and y coefficient are same. Only this is different. Only a C1 is equal to 65, C2 is equal to 39, minus 39, A is equal to 5, B is equal to minus 12. Okay. After finding this, what can be done? You have to find the distance between the lines. So this is your formula. When you substitute it, you will be ending up getting this one. After substituting all your C1, C2, then your things, you'll be getting this one. So your answer here is 8. This is just formula substitution, nothing else. Okay. Now the point from the line, two lines, a point equidistance. You have to find a point which is equidistance, means equal distance from the line, this line, this line, and this line. You have a point, you have three lines. All the distance here are equidistance, they're telling. Okay. Now let's find. So let the point be A comma B. So distance from A comma B to the line is your getting. This is your distance formula. Basically substituting, instead of x is substituting A, instead of y is substituting B, divided by root of coefficient of x square and x and y. Okay. That's how you got this. Similarly, you're substituting the point, you will be getting the distance from the point to this line. Similarly, the other line. And we know that all the distance are equidistance, which means all the distance are same. So when I substitute everything in the above equation, all the things, so only A is equal to B, B is equal to, if I substitute 0, A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, it will be 10 by 5 is equal to 26 by 13, that is equal to, just I'm removing the mod, it will be minus 15, when you remove the mod, it will be 50 by 25. So everything will be 2 equal to 2 equal to 2. Only when A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0, the above things are satisfied. So above equation is satisfied. Then you can say that the answer is 0, 0. Okay. Simply all the equations. Simply you have all the distance. You found the distance between the first line and second line, and you found the distance between the point and the second line, and you found the distance between the point and the third line. So these three distance are equal because it is equidistance. So now instead of A and B, you substitute all these points in C. So in which points, if all three are equal, that is your required point. Okay. So you just substitute the point in C, you will get it. Now let's go to the next one. You have to find the triangle with the vertices is right angled at A. It is right angled at A, and you have a triangle ABC. Okay, basically, and it is right angle. So now what if, let me find slope of BA. So if I find slope of BA, so this is slope of BA. If I find, basically it will be y minus, so what is your A? 2, 7, B is 4, y. So y minus 7 by 4 minus 2, that is your slope of your BA. Same way, if I find slope of my CA, it will be minus 2, 6, right? So it will be 6 minus 7 by minus 2 minus 2, right? So minus 2 minus 2, it will be 4. So it will be 1 by 4. Now you know that they are right angle. They are at right angle, right? So the slopes dot product will be equal to minus 1. So since BA is perpendicular to CA, the slope dot product of those, the multiplication of both the slope will be equal to minus 1 since it is perpendicular to each other. So when I substitute it, now I'll be getting, this is 4. Okay. When I substituting, I'll be getting y is equal to minus 1. So your answer here is y is equal to minus 1. Okay. Now let's solve the differential equation. To solve the differential equation here, I have to see it option by option. So let me check by option. First, I'm taking option A and I'm differentiating and seeing. So I'm taking option A here and I'm differentiating and seeing. So if I differentiate here, it will be equal to the given question. Okay, so my option A is correct. So you have to basically differentiate. Here you're using UV method, here you're using U by V method, and I'm solving it. Suppose if the option A, by my luck, I got option A is correct. If option A is not giving you this option, go to option B and check. If option B is not giving that option, go to option C and check if you're getting the question. That is also not there, then go to D and check if you're getting the question. So as A is the correct option, I got the first one. Okay, just I am differentiating the options. Now you have to find the order and degree. As it has here itself, it is highlighted. Basically, what am I doing is basically is here I have this. I'm taking LCM. Basically, it will be y by dx into dy by dx plus 2 by dy by dx. So when I take dy by dx to the other side, it will be y into dy by dx is equal to x into dy by dx the whole square plus 2. That's how I got. Now, what is your order? Order is nothing but your highest derivative. Here, your highest derivative is 1. What is your power of the highest derivative? That is 2. Your highest power is also 2. So 1, 2 is your right answer. Now let's go to the next one. Which of the following is true for the value of A in expression? So which of the following is true for the value of A in expression for at least one negative x? Okay. Now for this you have a quadratic equation. So let me take the first option, right? So let me take here also you have to check by option. So first I'm taking y is equal to this. Okay. Now if you take discriminant, what is discriminant? Which is b square minus 4ac, right? So it is b square minus 4ac. It is nothing but a plus 2 the whole square minus 4 into what is a? A is nothing but a square plus 3. What is c? Minus 6. That is how I got. So in this term, when you substitute whatever value you substitute, what will happen? Whatever value you substitute for a, even if you substitute negative value, it will be positive because it is square, right? Even if you substitute negative values of x or negative value of a, your answer will be greater than 0. But it won't be equal to 0 because even if you substitute any negative values for a, you'll have a value which is positive. So now if you see the coefficient of x square, if coefficient of x square is a square plus 3, right? So in that, even this term is always positive. Okay, even that term is, what is that? Always positive. So here from this, what can be told? So even if you have at least one negative value of x as it's given, even if you have one negative value of x, this whole term will definitely be greater than 0. Since it has real numbers as discriminant, so it will definitely y will also be greater than 0. The whole y will be greater than 0 since every single term here, this part is also greater than 0, the discriminant is also greater than 0. So you can say that every single part is greater than 0. So even if you put any negative value, at least one negative value for any equation here, the first equation will be true because all those discriminant is also greater than 0 and the coefficient of the first term is also greater than 0. So definitely y will be greater than 0 is for any, at least one value, for any value of x and y, x and a. For any value of x belongs to real numbers, even can be negative, positive, or any value of x, a in real numbers, a can be negative or positive. For any value, y is greater than 0. Now you have to find the coefficient of this x power 10. So now Let's see. So there are two possible ways for writing x power 10. So either you can write it as x square. These are the coefficients, right? So either you can write it as x square power 5, x cube, and minus x power 3. So when you take the powers of all things, it should be equivalent to 8 only. Okay, same way when you do this term, what will happen when you take the powers of all these things, it should be equivalent to 8. That is your binomial expansion, right? So you can either split x power 10 in this term or this term. Okay, when you split x power 10, the corresponding coefficient will be 8 factorial by 5 factorial by 3 factorial. Same way, and it is 0 factorial will also be there, but 0 factorial is 1, so you need not write it. Same way here, 8 factorial can be 8 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 or 2 factorial into 4 factorial. So now the coefficient of x power 10 can in the above expression can be written as 476. So 476. So binomial expansion, just by looking at the terms, just remember how to split it. Okay, how can you split it? That should be a question. You'll have 1 power 1, you'll have 1, then you'll have x square, then you'll have minus x cube. How can you split in a way that all the power sum should be 8? In that case, you can split it as 2 types. Okay, that's how. This is just binomial expansion and you're just writing. Same way, 8 factorial by the power factorials. Okay. Now, let's go to the next point. Next question. You have an area bounded by the curves y is equal to f of x and the x-axis with ordinate x is equal to 1 and x is equal to beta. So, what is your area is given. You have to find the function value. So, you know that area is, this is your f of x, and I hope it is clear. I think it is not clear actually. So I'm writing it again. Let area B is equal to beta minus 1 sine of 3 beta plus 4. This is your area. That area is given, right? Here, ordinates x is equal to 1 and x is equal to beta is written. And you have to find the f of x, and this is your curve basically. So x is equal to 1, you have a line, and x is equal to beta, you have a line, and above the x-axis, so basically these lines you should find, and your curve is this curve, and that curve only you have to find. What is f of x? So basically area will be from 1 to beta. So basically area will be from, so when you draw the diagram, so basically you will have a equation and you will have a graph which is f of x, and this is your 1 and this is your beta. So basically a graph will from area will be from 1 to beta, f of x. So now you know the area. Now by Newton's Lebesgue rule, how can you write it? By Newton's Lebesgue rule, what are we doing is, so by Newton's Lebesgue rule, basically what are you doing is, you're having an integral from a to b f of x dx, and you're having a function basically. So your function is nothing but, take it as f of something. Take capital F of x. Okay, so you have a function. So here what you're doing is f of b minus f of a is equal to f dash of x. This is your formula. Okay, basically you're differentiating this function and you're just substituting the upper limits. So by using Newton's Lebesgue rule, I'll be getting this one. F of b minus f of 1. F of 1 is nothing but constant, which is 0. And when you differentiate, this is uv. So basically what you're doing is u dash v plus v u dash. Okay, that's how you got. So your answer will be sine beta, sine 3 beta plus 4, sine 3 beta plus 4 plus 3 into, what is it? So instead of beta, you have to substitute x. All those beta values there, no? You're substituting is x. So let me write this value here. Sine 3 beta plus 4 plus 3 beta minus 1 cos of 3 beta plus 4. How are you doing it? This will be basically, instead of sine, you're substituting x. So sine of 3x plus 4 plus 3x minus 1 cos 3x plus 4. So this is your answer. So sine 3x plus 4. So this will be your answer. Okay. This is your final answer. Basically, you have to know this formula. That's all. Lebesgue theorem. Okay. Newton's Lebesgue theorem. Now you have to find the angle, area between the, not angle, area between the curve and area between this y, x-axis and ordinate of two minimas. Okay. Now, what am I doing? You're having an equation y. What you're doing is, I am differentiating it. So, to find maxima or minima, I'm putting dy by dx is equal to 0. Now, I'll be getting this. Now, after putting dy by dx 0, how am I getting these points? It will be 2x power. So, basically, I'll be getting x cube minus 2x is equal to 0. When I take x outside, x square, x cube minus 2 is equal to 0. So basically this will be x is equal to 0 or 8x cube minus 2 is equal to 0. So 8x cube is equal to 2. 8 cube is equal to, x cube is equal to 2 by 8. X is equal to 1 by 4. This is not cube. It is x square. When I take x square, it will be x square. So all those terms is square. Minus 1. So 8x square. 8x square. So x is equal to plus or minus 2. So that's how I got this term, and x is equal to 0. Okay. Now I am differentiating it again. When I substitute x is equal to 1 minus 1 and 2. When I differentiate again, here it will be 24x square minus 2. Okay. When I substitute the terms again, if I substitute x is equal to 1 by 2, it is greater than 0. When x is equal to 0, this is your d square y by dx square term. Okay. When I differentiate again and I substitute x equal to 0, this will be less than 0. When I substitute x equal to 1 by 2, it will be greater than 0. Okay. So now if I find the area of f of x, it will be, now what are they finding? Two minima. They are asking you to find the area between two minima. So it is basically from minus 1 by 2 to 1 by 2. Okay. So your area will be from the point minus 1 by 2 to 1 by 2. So when you differentiate, when I substitute, the answer would be 7 by 120. So answer will be 7 by 120. That's it. Now let's go to the next one. Just integral again. So what am I doing? I am just, you know that mod x can be split as minus x and plus x. Okay. So it will be plus x if it is in the interval 0 to 1. Okay. If it is in interval minus x, it will be from minus 1 to 0. So that's how I'm splitting this thing and writing, and again, other things I'm just writing it as it is. So your term will be like this. After this, I am integrating and I'm substituting the upper limit and lower limit. After substituting, I'll be getting the integral as 0. Just remember, mod x is substituting in two different ways. Okay. So integral will be 0. Now let's go to the next one. Area bounded between the curves cos x and x is equal to this. So these things you have to find. So I have shaded the areas, and you know that this is your cos x function, and x is equal to pi. When will x is equal to pi? This line is your x is equal to pi. Okay. And x is equal to 0 is this line is your, when this line basically, this line is your x is equal to 0. So basically you have to find the shaded region, right? So basically it is from 0 to pi by 2. This curve is y dx. Then again pi by 2 to pi, this curve is again, what is this? Same thing. So otherwise you can just write twice of this term itself. Instead of writing addition in between, you can write twice of 0 to pi by 2 y dx itself. Because you know that, because you already know that this area, the area between these two will be same as the area between these two. Okay, but just in case, you just do it because this is negative, right? So that's why we are just adding it and writing as it has two different areas. Now instead of the y, I'm writing what is my upper curve. Upper curve is y, which is sin y is equal to cos x. What is my lower curve, which is 0? The lower region is 0. Same way, what is my lower region here? 0. Y is equal to 0 to the what is my upper curve? Y is equal to 0. Y upper minus y lower. So that same formula here, upper is y is equal to 0 minus lower is cos x. That's how you get a minus here. So when you compare both the things, what you do when you do all those answer, it will be of when you substitute and when you again differentiate and do, it will be 2 units. Here generally we can write it as 2 times that itself, but just in case, for a safer side, what we're doing is the area, just taking about the area, no, even negative sign comes also, we can ignore it. We are just taking about the area alone. So that's how I'm doing it. Okay, nothing else. So here, that's how I'm solving it and doing it by basically using u upper minus u lower. That's how this is upper minus lower, and upper here minus lower here. Okay, that's how you got 2 units. Sorry. So this is 2 units. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. You have a function from R to R and again a G function from R to R. Your f of x given, G of x is given, and you have to find this. Now let's substitute. So you have a function f of x, and here y is equal to, now you have to find what is x in terms of y. I'm taking this 4 to the other side and dividing I'm taking this 3 to the other side. You'll be ending up getting y plus 4 by 3. So this will be a inverse, f inverse of x. Same way for g of x, this is your y is equal to 2 plus 3x. For finding g inverse of x, I'm writing in terms of x is equal to, right? Fair, right? You will be getting x is equal to y minus 2 by 3. So you'll be getting this. So basically you're getting this y, right? Instead of y, you can substitute this x. When you, so basically you're having x is equal to y plus 4 by 3 by just taking the other terms. So basically this is nothing but f inverse of x. So instead of this y, instead of any constant there, you're substituting x. Instead of y, you're substituting x plus 4 by 3. This is basically the inverse of it. Okay, nothing else. So same way, if I'm writing it as this, that will be your inverse. Basically in the y, you're substituting x. Okay. Now you have to find g of f in g inverse of f inverse of x. Okay. Now here, you know that instead of this x, you will be substituting what? This term. So you'll be having x minus 2 by 3, right? Instead of this x, you'll be substituting here. That's how g of f, g inverse of f inverse of x. So x plus 4 by 3 minus 2 by 3. So after taking LCM, you'll be getting something like this. So when you take LCM, x plus 4 minus 6 by 3 into 3. So it will be x minus 2. So here they gave you 5 instead of x. So 5 you're substituting here, which is 5 minus 2 by 9. So which is 1 by 3. So your answer here is 1 by 3. So next question, same way they have given you f of x, g of x. Here you have to find g of f of x, no inverse. Okay. So basically you're having f of x, and what is your g of x? G of x is nothing but x square plus 7. Okay. Now what you have to find? You have to find g of f of x. So in the x square, you have to this is your 7. Instead of this x, you have to substitute your 2 plus 3. So it will be 2x plus 3 the whole square plus 7. is your value, and that will be equated to 8. Now it will be 2x plus 3 the whole square is equal to 8 minus 7. So that will be 2x plus 3 the whole square is equal to 1. So 2x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus 1. So if 2x plus 3 is equal to 1, so 2x will be equal to minus 2. So x is equal to minus 1. Same way, 2x plus 3 is equal to minus 1. So 2x is equal to minus 4. X is equal to minus 2. So these are your options. So your answer is minus 1 comma minus 2. So your answer here is minus 1 comma minus 2. And here you have a point and you have a line. So you have to find the distance between them. So this is your formula. When you have a point and you have a line, this is basically a formula. So 4 into 1, 3 into y is there, no? Instead of y you can substitute 3, and 12 divided by root of 4 square plus 3 square. So it will be 3, sorry, it will basically be 4 plus 9 plus 12. So it will be 15 plus 9, which is 16 plus 9, which is basically 25 by root 25, which is 25 by 5, which is 5 units. So yes, so your answer here is 5 units. Just remember the formula alone. Yes, that's all about the mock test. And in any examination, max contains, in Vitti or Amrita, max contains around 40 questions. Okay, so max is high weightage, so just practice properly.